Hello everybody and welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. It's the Super All Slammer 200 and we're getting ready for the start of the racing. Let's go down then as the drivers are getting ready. It's time to join down and let's listen to P2 as we're in for the first round of 10 for the Truck Playoff Series. Let's get ready to go racing. Let's join our colleagues then down at MRN Racing. Here's our leader.
With the good news, 167.705 miles per hour. So Lane qualified really good. Last time you were on the pole was Pocono, and you won the race there. Can you duplicate that here today at Darlington?
Yeah, same truck actually. So, no, I love this racetrack. Everybody asks what my favorite track is on the NASCAR schedule, and I always say Darlington. So it just plays right in my wheelhouse. It's really low grip. You got to put them on the dash to go fast here, and I feel like that's right up my alley. So just big shout out to everybody at Front Row Motorsports, Ford Performance. My Ford F-150 was really fast in practice. We didn't really build the way we wanted to, but we know the changes we got to make to get it where we want. So I got a lot of confidence. It's got raw speed, which is usually the hardest thing to get. So now we just got to manage that long run speed.
You've won 2 of the last 5 races. How do you feel your momentum is as you come into this playoff run?
I think we are on the uprise for sure, and we're peaking and we're getting hot right when it matters. And I'm just super proud of everybody that's just stayed the course and just working hard to make sure that we're at where we're at right now. So yeah, pretty cool. Me and teammate 1-2 for Front Row Motorsports. I think that's the first time in the trucks we've qualified 1-2 together. So front row on the front rows. That's a pretty good accomplishment for everybody.
There we go. That is Lane Riggs going to lead us to green here this afternoon.
He will indeed, and the driver that he is chasing in the point standings as we sit right now is Corey Heim, the regular season champion, is tied right now on the all-time Truck Series win list with Dennis Setzer for 7th all-time. 7 of his wins have come this season. Let's hear from Corey Heim as he gets set to begin his playoffs. Right now, he's with Chris Wilner.
And he's got that 62-point buffer as the regular season champion coming off 2 straight wins, including Richmond. Corey, your task of trying to win a championship begins today. What are the feelings like? And you start pretty good in the 3rd spot, so how do you feel just getting the playoffs started?
Yeah, feeling pretty similar to kind of the normal race week and normal prep and whatnot. I mean, this has been a pretty good track for me in the past. I've never won here or had a great finish, but I feel like I've always kind of ran well inside the top 5, led some laps. So, and I feel like our intermediate style package has been really good throughout the year. It's gotten us some wins. So, coming to a place like this, I have a lot of confidence. And really, all the races in the first round, we've kind of proven that we can run on those types of racetracks. So, got a lot of confidence in my guys. Got some playoff points to lean on if needed. But like I said, just pretty similar, mindset going into this one.
Obviously, I think everybody has the target pointed on you going into this playoff run. But for you guys as a team, how do you approach this first round with the point buffer that you do have?
Yeah, I think it allows us to be more aggressive in general, just on maybe strategy calls if it comes down to it. I think today is relatively straightforward as far as, taking 4 tires every stop. But there are some races where we can sort of, mess around and try to get, an extra 5 points maybe for next round if we need to. So stuff like that is, something that comes to mind. But other than that, I think just bringing the same trucks to the racetrack that we have been, that's made us successful to begin with, is kind of the goal. And I feel like our truck on guys with Toyota have been done a really good job at doing that this year. So just going to try to keep it going.
Well, he's been a force all season. The playoffs begin and the title chase begins for Corey Heim. He starts 3rd this afternoon.
Rajah Caruth will begin his playoffs in the 8th seeded position. He's on the cut line. He is in by 2. He made the playoffs by winning Nashville earlier this year. He's got a couple of top 10s in the last 5 races. Let's get Rajah's thoughts. He'll roll from 11th. Rajah is with Wendy.
And the other important thing to note there is that he has 2 Darlington truck starts with the best of 6. So you have to have a little bit of confidence coming into this track as we kick off the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely, Wendy. Definitely was a little bit of a work in progress in practice yesterday with our HendrickCars.com Chevrolet, but I think improved a little bit for qualifying, and I'm excited to have a new opportunity today. So, I definitely have confidence coming into the racetrack. I don't want to come in, overzealous, right, and not pay respect and race the racetrack the right way, but I definitely feel excited to have a chance to go and race today.
What kind of conversation did you and crew chief Kevin Bono Mannion have this morning to prepare for the starting 11th today?
Yeah, just got to run a race and do the best that we can and have a clean day. If we're not leading right, we can't take ourselves out of it and just have a clean day. So I think that's what we're focusing on. So yeah.
All right, good luck out there. That's Raja Karuth. He starts 11th.
And Raja mentioned you got to have a clean day at Darlington. That is far easier said than done.
Welcome to more.
Green flag is in the air.
More action. More awesome. More smoke. More sizzle. More soar. More roar. More friends. More family. Welcome to the one place where no matter who you are, you'll leave with something you'll never forget. Welcome to NASCAR.
Inspiring story.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway. He will win the Pepsi 400.
I'm just a pilot, man. You know, I just want everybody to be happy. I want to do good, and hopefully all of my dad's fans enjoyed this. It's for all them.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast Junior's Journey. Jeff Gordon, a colorful career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, the road to royalty, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Of the 32 drivers in today's race, only one has won here at the Darlington Raceway in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. That driver's name is Ben Rhodes. From Darlington Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-212-2828. 800-212-2828. That's 800-212-2828.
Every time the siren sounds or lights flash, someone's life is on the line. At Wheelan Engineering, we know first responders carry that weight every day. That's why for over 70 years, we've led the emergency warning industry, designing and manufacturing the lights, sirens, and safety systems they trust right here in America. Because when the mission is critical, there's no room for second best. Wheelan Engineering, trusted to protect first responders.
Back at Darlington Raceway, back to the driver introduction stage to Wendy Venturini.
Daniel Hemrick's first truck race here at Darlington. Plenty of experience. How do you feel going into these playoffs starting 7th?
Yeah, it's cool to be back, part of another set of playoffs. There's nothing like playoff sports, so excited to see everybody's 19 team rise up. We got a really cool throwback scheme. Appreciate Napa letting us throw it back to 1980 and Buddy Baker and the Great Ghost, and hopefully give it a good run today.
All right, have fun out there. That's Daniel Hemrick. He starts 7th. Chris Wilner.
Yeah, Chandler Smith getting ready to be introduced. He starts 2nd next to his front row teammate. Chandler, really quick, how do you beat your teammate?
Yeah.
How do you beat your teammate?
Just got to execute all day. I think both of our trucks are really, really fast. So I think it's just going to come down to execution. Hopefully we can get a 1-2 finish, and hopefully, selflessly, I'd like for us to be in the first spot.
All right, it's an all front row motorsports front row. That's Chandler Smith. He starts 2nd.
Right now, drivers being introduced. The playoff drivers walking across the stage. We'll take a lap around the racetrack, and they'll get buckled into their trucks and get ready for 147 laps of racing around the track. Too tough to tame.
Kyle Larson brings his Chevy in 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR.
Here for Ryan Blaney, 4 tires with Sunoco fuel.
From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
We are the voice of NASCAR.
The green flag is in the air, and we are underway. The Great American Race.
The Motor Racing Network. NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and Craftsman Truck Series Racing live on your hometown radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com. Martinsville, Talladega, the Chicago Street Course. We have the side-by-side action and last lap passes for the win.
Photo finishes. Ryan Blaney will win.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
From Darlington Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
You've never been one to idly watch someone else do something for you. There's pride in self-reliance, in working with your hands. in harnessing the power of an E3 spark plug with Diamond Fire technology, yielding better engine performance. You have a choice to make. Take control of your ride, of your life, or be the passenger princess of it. Visit e3sparkplugs.com to put the power in your hands.
Looking for weekly motorsports podcasts to stay up to date on what's happening on and off the track? The Motor Racing Network is the place. Hear from NASCAR crew chiefs on MRN Crew Call. All the happenings from regional touring series and local tracks on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Sprint Car Talk on Winged Nation. NASCAR history on MRN Classic Races. And hear from the drivers on NASCAR Live. MRN podcasts available on MRN.com, YouTube, or your favorite podcast platform.
Back at Darlington Raceway, getting ready for the Sober or Slammer 200 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. We've been chatting with playoff drivers in our pre-race coverage. Alex, we begin the 2025 playoffs right now at Darlington. That'll set forth a 7-race challenge that will come to a head basically at Championship weekend at Phoenix, Halloween night.
Round 1, Darlington Raceway, Bristol Motor Speedway, and New Hampshire Motor Speedway. After that, the lowest 2 will be eliminated, so we'll be down to 8 drivers. Second round will be the Roval at Charlotte, then Talladega and Martinsville. After that, 4 drivers will be eliminated after Martinsville, leaving us 4 to go. Race for the championship at Phoenix Raceway on Halloween.
We've gotten the driver's perspective today, Postman, but what about the crew chief's perspective for this 147-lapper?
Yeah, Joe Shear is the crew chief for Ty Majeski down here. And, Joe, when we look at this race, 147 laps seems like a short race. You got 4 new sets of tires, I think, laying on the ground. How do you play this race, though? Because we know by the time they hit turn 3, they're going to be screaming for new tires. How do you play this one?
That's a good question. We would like to put tires on all the time, but, the best thing is if it goes green and we don't have that choice. But we do have to watch our tires and put them on at the right time and play that game. And make sure you got fresh tires for the end of the race.
Do you like the challenge of this whole racetrack, Joe? You're a Wisconsin short track racer. Do you like this challenge?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes, it's nerve wracking and put some gray hairs in your head, So, yeah, I like the challenge. I like the low grip racetracks and try to make grip and try to be better than everybody else. But it's not easy.
It's not easy, and Joe shared with me before, they're struggling just a little bit on the setup of their truck. He's got a little nerves down here, but, it's Joe Shear, it's Ty Majeski. My hunch is they figure it out. Wendy Venturini?
Corey Day down here in the HendrickCars.com is getting prepared for your first Darlington start. So how did you prepare for this race today in the Truck Series?
I did a lot of sim work this week and just studied a lot of film. This place has, a lot of character, and 1 and 2 is pretty awkward the way you run the wall. So just spent a lot of time studying that, asking questions. I'm fortunate to have a good group of people around me that I can, ask a lot of questions to. So just try to get all the info I could and pick all the good stuff out of it.
How much do you think you're going to be screaming for tires? We know that's always an issue here.
Yeah, probably, quite a bit, as everyone will be. I felt pretty good on long run speed, not too good on short run speed, but, I think long run's where you're going to have a good run here. So, I felt pretty good, so I'm hoping I'm not screaming as loud as some other guys.
All right, that's Corey Day. He starts 15th, Steve Post.
From one Corey in a Spire truck to another Corey in a Spire truck, Corey LaJoy. Corey, welcome back. Good to always see you at the racetrack. What's your thought as you get ready to go here at this tough old racetrack?
Yeah, I think Spire's trying to save a couple bucks on, decals for above the door top here with 2 Corys. They save a couple letters, but no, he's a stud. Been watching up, keeping up with him, but when it comes to 77, trying to make it a couple top 5s for the Spire Motorsports group. It's been fun to work with Chad Walters on this thing and just continue to build the program, get a little bit better, because the other Corey, Heim, he's really been hauling ass, and Lane Riggs and those guys are strong too. So hopefully we can get up there and dice it up with them today.
Is it nobody wants to be beat, okay? But is it good to have someone out there, a rabbit out there that you guys can chase and you can at least see and know what you need to look for, Corey?
I'd rather be the rabbit, but I know right now there are a lot of times in this sport you're the one chasing. So you just got to figure out what to execute well, how to continue to make yourself better as well, the people around you better to ultimately get a product underneath of you to go contend. And I hopefully think that over the next 6-7 weeks with this group, we can continue to progress. That way we can contend with those guys on a more frequent basis.
It is going to be interesting to see what happens with as this program continues to evolve. That's Corey LaJoie, starts in position number 9. Chris Wilner.
Well, we heard from Joe Scheer Jr. in the Thorsport camp. Let's talk to Kevin Bellicourt, who's the crew chief for Tyler Ankrum and Bill McAnally Racing and McAnally Hilgeman Racing. By the way, Bill had a birthday this week, so how do you deliver him a birthday present of a win today?
Well, I'm Daniel Hemrick's crew chief, but that's okay.
Daniel Hemrick, I'm sorry.
You're okay. You're staring down at Ankrum. We're going to try to get him a trophy, hopefully. That would be the best birthday present, make the big guy happy. But a good, clean day, a solid points day. I'm speaking like a crew chief. We're going to keep our eyes on that. You got to race the racetrack here more than anything. But if we're in position at the end, obviously we try to strike. You win, and you're punched into the next round, so that's the goal.
Well, and my mistake actually led to my second question. You guys flip-flopped earlier this season, so how has the adjustment been, getting to work with Daniel and kind of starting to basically build up this push to the playoffs and toward a championship?
It's been great. It's been obviously trying to do a lot in a short amount of time. 3 races before this race to work together, but we've had about 6 or 7 weeks, so it's been great. I'm lucky to have Daniel in the seat, and I think he's got a lot of confidence in me. I hope he does, and we're in a great spot to make a run. I feel really good about it.
A lot of confidence in this group, trying to bring Bill McAnally a birthday present with a win today. That's Kevin Bellicourt.
Pre-race ceremonies are next.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
From Darlington Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Gear up. Visit the NASCAR shop online to find all of your favorite officially licensed NASCAR product. The NASCAR shop is the official online store of NASCAR and your destination for all of your favorite hats, t-shirts, diecast, and more. Whether tailgating, home gating, or anything in between, visit NASCAR.com/shop for the widest assortment and best selection of NASCAR gear today.
80 million listeners depend on AM radio to always be on, delivering news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports you can trust. AM radio also delivers vital emergency information when you need it most. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
We welcome you back to Darlington Raceway. Drivers have been introduced to the crowd as pre-race ceremonies are just about to begin. Before that happens, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the NASCAR Racing Network. NASCAR Racing Network live at Darlington Raceway as the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series playoffs are set to begin. My name is Alex Hayden. Mike Bagley is alongside. Soon we'll be joined by NASCAR Cup Series driver Ross Chastain. We've already heard from our pit reporters Steve Post, Chris Wilner, and Wendy Venturini. In a moment, we'll bring the turn announcers in. They will be Dave Moody and Tim Catalfamo.
There is an air of tension that is laying over this racetrack right now for at least 10 drivers in this field today. Playoffs are getting ready to get underway, and then you throw in the racetrack. You throw in all that is what's to come this afternoon, Alex, and there's so many different agendas on the racetrack, but there's one common goal: to beat the track too tough to tame, not to be beaten buy the track too tough to take.
You have to race the racetrack for 200 miles and hope that you got the freshest tires and a truck clean enough and fast enough to get to the finish line first. These drivers are poised. They're ready to go. So are we. So let's go trackside for pre-race ceremonies.
Please rise as you are able. Remove your hats, and veterans render a hand salute as the Buford Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer today's invocation from Calvary Baptist Church, Pastor Clay Cox.
Father, we bow before you this day, thanking you for the beautiful day you have created. We first come to you with heavy hearts for the loss of Zachary Yeager. Father, we thank you for his hard work that he put in for 10 years serving the NASCAR family. Lord, we do pray that you would just comfort his family in this time. Now, Father, we ask that you'd protect these drivers today as they compete against one another. Thank you for the opportunity we have given this day because of all the self-discipline and hard work they have put forth. Comfort their families as they are asked to protect their loved ones. Strengthen every pit crew member to move fast, think clearly, work with precision. Lord, thank you for these fans that are out here today to celebrate them. Finally, Lord, we ask that you bless America. Bless our president with wisdom of Solomon as he leads us, the heart of David as he seeks after you. Thank you for the NASCAR family that allows us to open this event with prayer. For Lord, we know there is power in prayer. As your word tells us, all who are weak and heavy laden, come unto you and I will give you rest. So Father, we pray unto you alone and find rest. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome Bo and Blair Hendrick from Blair's West Band.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The Sober or Slammer 200 on the NASCAR Racing Network. Next.
NASCAR Live Race Day has been brought to you by Toyota. For the latest Toyota Gazoo racing information, visit tgrna.com.
I'm NASCAR driver Ross Chastain. On the track, it's my responsibility to be sharp and focused. On the road, it's everyone's responsibility. If you choose to drink and drive, you give up your ability to stay in control. Driving impaired puts other lives in danger, and you in jail. While crashes happen on the track, on the road, they don't have to.
This message is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Public Safety.
The thrills of NASCAR racing from over 55 years of Motor Racing Network broadcasts.
Bobby Allison brings the race car right down in the middle of the track, crosses the start-finish line, and he will win the 24th annual Daytona 500.
Bill Elliott wins the Hooters 500. Alan Kulwicki, 1992 champion.
MRN Classic Races.
And in the whole pack steaming for the finish line, Dale Earnhardt wins a Winston 500.
Find all the classic moments on MRN Classic Races on any podcast platform.
From Darlington Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Hello? Hey, Tim. It's your man tank.
I think those veggies in the crisper are drying up.
I know. I've been meaning to eat those. I'll get around to it.
Get around to it.
I will, man. Jeez. All right?
Or just eat Jack Link's jerky. Smoked, seasoned. Some real meat would do you a lot of good, Tim. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, official meat snack of NASCAR. Feed your wild side.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults age 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco.
Hey, it's Ryan Blaney, 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion. If you know me, I did Black Buffalo Long Cut. Black Buffalo is America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative. Black Buffalo was established in America in 2015, and it dips just like the real thing, without the tobacco leaf or stem. You can find Black Buffalo at thousands of retailers across the USA near you. Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative. If it's everything you love about dip, nothing you don't.
Live on the NASCAR Racing Network. It's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Let's get a big thumbs up. Get ready to rock and roll past the race cars today, pal. Go boys, let's execute. Have a good day.
Today, the Sober or Slammer 200 from Darlington Raceway. Brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Public Safety, reminding you to never drink and drive. By Craftsman. Get more runtime and better performance with the battery-powered Craftsman V20 brushless RP lineup. Learn more at craftsman.com. By Toyota. For the latest Toyota Gazoo racing information, visit tgrna.com. And by Sunoco. From NASCAR to your car, Sunoco fuels peak performance.
We are back at Darlington Raceway. We are getting ready to throw the green flag for the Sober or Slammer 200. The command to fire engines coming up. It is a mostly cloudy, partly cloudy sky, depending on what minute of the day you're observing things in. We'll have a big old cloud come over the racetrack, Alex, and that'll ensconce us in cloud cover. But as we speak, here come rays of sunshine working our way from turn 4 all the way to the start-finish line, basically from left to right on your radio dial.
84 degrees right now, fair skies. Yeah, it is absolutely perfect given the history of racing at Darlington here in South Carolina on Labor Day weekend, where typically the feels like is well into the triple digits and the fans are sweltering and fanning themselves with anything they can find to make sure they try to stay cool. But what a beautiful day to go racing with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series to get their playoffs underway.
Let's recap the playoff leaderboard for you. Corey Heim comes in as the big fish in the pond. He has 65 playoff points. He enters this round 62 points above the cut line. Lane Riggs is 39 points behind him in second. You got Chandler Smith third. And then from 4th all the way to 10th, that is where things tighten up. That is where Daniel Hemrick's in by 8. Tyler Ankrum and Ty Majeski are in by 7. Grant Enfinger's in by 4. Rajah Caruth in by 2. Cade Honeycutt out by 2. Jake Garcia out by 3. And that's the lay of the land coming up. The deeper you go, Alex, on the playoff leaderboard, there's little wiggle room for error at one of NASCAR's most difficult racetracks.
Yeah, Ross Chastain will be joining us here in just a moment. Once we get the trucks on the racetrack, he'll be better than anybody to tell us what it's like to get around this track and have success here. But for the drivers there, the stage points are going to be huge for these playoff drivers, especially those flirting in and around the cut line. So you got to do what you can here on this short run while the tires are good. Try to gain as much track position as you can, and then simply try to hang on.
147 laps is not a lot of time to make the hay here at Darlington. Every move will count. Every set of tires will matter as well. Trackside for the command.
Darlington Raceway, give a big NASCAR welcome to Colonel Christopher Williamson. By day, he is a South Carolina Highway Patrolman, but today, he's here to say the most famous words in motorsports. Take it away, Colonel Williamson.
Drivers, start your engines!
The sound we've been waiting for. 32 NASCAR Craftsman trucks come to life on the pit lane. We're set to go racing in Darlington.
DIYers, ever start a project thinking that this'll be quick, only for it to be anything but? We've all been there, and that's why you need Craftsman, DIYer's most trusted brand. Craftsman's V20 battery works across drills, saws, trimmers, mowers, and over 100 other products from the house to the backyard and beyond. No dead stops, no refuels, just grab, swap, and get it done. Because your project might fight back, but your tools shouldn't. Head to Craftsman.com to learn more. Craftsman, build on.
Want to know the latest with short track racing around the country? Well, one show has you covered, NASCAR Coast to Coast. Hi, I'm Chris Wilner. Join me each week as we break down the biggest headlines in grassroots racing and in NASCAR's regional and touring series. We'll also talk with rising stars from your favorite short track. Once again, it's NASCAR Coast to Coast. You can watch or listen today on YouTube, Facebook, MRN.com, or on your favorite podcast platform.
From Darlington Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Get ready to rev your engines, NASCAR fans. The thrill, the speed, the action. You can now experience it all for free on the NASCAR channel on Tubi. All-day access to NASCAR action, streaming classic moments, iconic rivalries, and behind-the-scenes stories from the greatest drivers. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere on your favorite fast platform. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Find the NASCAR channel on your streaming device and start watching today.
Do you have an unused car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick and your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
Now, here's the starting lineup.
Qualifying was held yesterday. Stephen Malazzi will start 32nd. Clayton Green will start 31st. The 30th starter is Caleb Costner. Tony Breininger will start 29th. Nathan Bird is the 28th starter. Mason Maggio starts 27th. Spencer Boyd 26th and Jack Wood 25th. Stephen Parsons goes 24th. Timmy Hill is the 23rd starter. Matt Crafton starts 22nd, and Ben Rhodes 21st.
Andres Perez will start 20th, with Dawson Sutton starting in the 19th position. 18th starter is Matt Mills. Bailey Curry starts 17th. Trevor Bain, driving for Tricon Garage, will start in position 16, with Corey Day in 15th. Connor Mosak is your 14th starter. Jake Garcia is 13th. Tanner Gray rolls off 12th, and Rajah Caruth will start 11th.
Starting 10th is Tyler Ankrum. Corey LaJoy goes 9th, and Ty Majeski 8th. Daniel Hemrick will start 7th. Gio Ruggiero starts 6th. Caden Honeycutt 5th. Grant Enfinger qualified 4th. Corey Heim will start today's race 3rd. And starting on the front row, Chandler Smith goes 2nd, and winning the pole yesterday in qualifying, Lane Riggs.
Right now, the field is on the racetrack, having completed their first pace and parade lap. Let's take a lap with you and our turn announcers around this legendary Darlington Raceway, measured at 1.366 miles around, but the end in one is not like the other. And to bring context to that is Dave Mooney, high atop turns 1 and 2. Dave from Barrie, Vermont.
Thank you, Mike Bagley. Good afternoon once again, everybody. Yes, one of the most unique venues in all of motorsports, the egg-shaped Darlington Raceway, built this way to avoid the farmer's minnow pond on the outside of what's now turn 4. The lay of the land here, 25 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2. This is the rounded end of that egg, or the larger end, if you will.
That goes back there.
These drivers virtually have to point themselves straight at the fence on entry into turn 1, then slide up just inches off that concrete and safer barrier retaining wall. It makes for a very interesting afternoon. Things get tight when that banking falls away to just 2 degrees as they spill out onto the Boeing backstretch, to the attention of Marlboro, New Jersey's Tim Catalfamo.
Thank you very much, Dave Mooney. Good afternoon, everyone. Here in turn 3, right next to the Earnhardt Tower. When they work their way down that Boeing backstretch, they'll set up for turns 3 and 4, banked at 23 23 degrees, and it's a tighter radius over here on this end of the raceway than it is in turns 1 and 2. The drivers will have one or maybe two grooves that they can use as they work their way right up against the safer barrier through this end of the track. The flat apron to their left, of course the red and white safer barrier to their right, and already as far as the on-track activity is concerned today, there are a ton of Darlington stripes that are up against the red and white walls. I expect that to continue as we go throughout the course of the afternoon. We'll see how the Truck Series drivers battle this tough old racetrack here in South Carolina this afternoon.
We will indeed. Joining us here topside in the broadcast booth, as promised, Ross Chastain won here in Darlington in a truck. You've had a lot of success here at this racetrack, Ross. First of all, welcome to the broadcast. Secondly, what are the challenges of getting around this track?
Well, the challenge is riding up the elevator up to get to the booth for me right now. But, man, when I got here, y'all have it ice cold in here, and it smells good. This is the best y'all have ever smelled, I have to say. Here at Darlington, though, these drivers are not cold, and it does not smell good inside of these trucks. This is the best it's going to feel right now. These tires only have one lap on them, and as soon as we take the green, even for the front row motorsports trucks, which are accurately positioned on the front row, they will feel less grip every time they come back around this racetrack. And my question is, who can beat the 11?
And right now, the field is getting ready to get the one-to-go signal, and we're all about to find out together. As the field comes out of turn number 4, working their way to the one-to-go signal, let's take a final sweep through pit road, and we'll start with Steve Post.
Corey Day returns to the Truck Series for his 7th and final start for Spire Motorsports this year. The last 2 have been good. 5th place finish at Nashville, 2nd place run at Indianapolis Raceway Park. We'll see if he can continue that trend. Corey Day starts in the 15th spot here this afternoon. Chris Wilner?
I tell you what, Steve Post, one of the drivers that would surely love to play playoff spoiler is the rookie phenom Gio Ruggiero for Tricon Garage, who starts 6th today. Talked to Gio, who celebrated a birthday yesterday, 19 years young. He said, we missed the playoffs just based off of experience, but I have learned every single race on how to attack these trucks, how to save tires, and how to be there at the end. He's coming off a really good string of finishes inside the top 10, and he feels like this racetrack, despite being its first time at Darlington, could certainly be one that fits in his wheelhouse. Again, he starts 6th today and would certainly love to add to his resume of top 10 finishes and potentially get that first career win and upset the playoff field here at Darlington. Wendy Venturini?
Not a playoff driver, but no doubt want to keep eyes, and that's Corey LaJoie. Corey has 3 starts this season here in the Truck Series. Both of them previous to this weekend were top 5s. Now, Corey loves this racetrack. It's one of his most favorite racetracks. He says it's a driver's track. It's very challenging, and he has a lot of memories here at Darlington, coming here with driver Joey Logano. The Logano and the LaJoie spending a lot of days here as children at Darlington Raceway. Corey LaJoie is going to be fast. Keep an eye on him. He starts 9th.
Got a good crowd on hand today at Darlington, and they've all just risen to their feet as the field now works through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is on pit road, and with the call of the start of the Sober or Slammer 200 from Goldsboro, North Carolina, here's Alex Hayden.
Here they come up off turn number 4. Rich Keeter in top of the flag stand, as he always is, for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. As we wait for the green flag to go in the air about 1,000 feet away. Down to the line they come. Green is in the air, and the playoffs are underway for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series as everybody at the back of the field begins to scatter. Somebody, looks like Dawson Sutton, did not come up to speed as they raced to turn 1.
Front of the pack, Lane Riggs did come up to speed. He slides up across the nose of his teammate Chandler Smith with the lead.
It'll be Lane Riggs, the leader this time, down the Boeing backstretch for the first time at full speed. The race is for second side by side. That's Corey Heim and Chandler Smith.
Corey Heim tries to open up the inside line, but Chandler Smith's got that truck wound up topside. So much so, he gets a great run out of turn number 4. Chandler Smith will lead lap 1. He'll bypass his teammate Lane Riggs to take the lead.
Slides to the inside, now up across the nose of Lane Riggs, all the way to the safer barrier. He'll take the lead. The battle for 3rd is on. Corey Heim looking to move up.
Corey Heim trying to get around Grant Infinger. Infinger, the last time through turns 3 and 4, was able to move around him for that spot. Battle for the lead tightens up in 3.
Here they come up off turn 4. The front row motorsports Ford F-150s go at it. However, the outside lane has the momentum, continuing to show the way. Chandler Smith. That leaves Riggs in line 2nd, Infinger and Heim 3rd and 4th.
Chandler Smith getting a great run off the corners, turns 2 and 4 respectively. He has opened up the gap to about 4 car lengths now over Lane Riggs.
Lane Riggs continues to hold down that second spot. Grant Enfinger has been able to hold off Corey Heim for third at the moment. Caden Honeycutt, the fifth place truck.
Off the corner they work now. Challenge further back. Here's where Tanner Gray dives to the inside of Daniel Hemrick. That is the race for the 8th position as it comes to the main straightaway. They continue that side-by-side battle, but the Gray Ghost comes flying around the outside in the person of Daniel Hemrick.
The Gray Ghost outruns Tanner Gray into turn number 1. That battle for position will go back to single file as they hit the backstretch.
That is back around the 8th position. Daniel Hemrick in his silver Chevrolet, about a car length or truck length or two behind the Gio Ruggiero Toyota.
Now Ross Chastain through turns 3 and 4, we see the trucks going all the way to the bottom, some of them up against the wall. Where is there any kind of grip at all out here on this racetrack?
Not that there's any more grip, but the momentum can stay higher running the outside. These Ilmor engines, a spec engine in the truck series, it rewards high momentum, a high minimum speed. I start to see 5th place to 1st, they're running closer together. There was a gap forming back to 6th place Ty Majeski, which that's really interesting, guys. I'd like to check back in on that in about 30 laps and see if the 98 has proven to be this year really good on the long runs on tracks that wear out. See if Ty Majeski makes up that lap time he's losing right now over the long run.
Yeah, right now Ty Majeski 4.1 seconds behind the race leader, who is Chandler Smith. Second right now is Lane Riggs. And Tim, the battle for second has died down. Looked like Enfinger was turning the wick up there on him for a moment.
It has died down for the moment. Enfinger has now driven away from Corey Heim. He was going after Lane Riggs a moment ago, but he trails Riggs by about 4 truck lengths.
They begin to separate themselves here early on. Further back, Rajah Caruth is beginning to get some pressure from behind. Corey LaJoie off turn number 4 looks to the inside. This is 11th and 12th on the racetrack as they race their way to turn number 1.
Here they come into turn number 1. For the moment, Rajah Caruth able to hold off the advances of Corey LaJoie. He actually pulls away by a truck length and a half.
And behind Corey LaJoie, that's where you find the Connor Mosack Chevrolet Silverado trying to move his way up through the pack. Mosack is about 2 or 3 truck lengths behind LaJoie.
Just outside of the top 10 right there. They're racing for 12th and 13th with Trevor Bain looking on. Again, a one-off race with Tri-Con Garage. Right now it's Chandler Smith, Lane Riggs, Grant Enfinger, Corey Heim, and Caden Honeycutt, the top 5. Running in 6th right now is Ty Majeski with the Ruggiero truck in 7th. You got Daniel Hemrick in 8th, Tanner Gray 9th, and Tyler Ankrum rounding out the top 10. Haven't heard a lot out of Tyler Ankrum lately, Alex. I'm sure they want to make some noise there in their Macadeli Hilgeman truck.
Yeah, they do, and that's a driver who is making his 4th playoff appearance of the season. He got playoff eligible this year by winning on the return to Rockingham Speedway there in the Sandhills of North Carolina. Not too terribly far from where we are right now, but here early on, Ross, 8 laps into this thing, we're beginning to see drivers do what you said, race the racetrack.
That's right. Yeah, and for Tyler Ankrum, you guys talked about him. His crew chief, Mark Hillman, a guy that I've actually worked with. He was my crew chief for my first Cup race in 2017 when I made my first start at Dover for Premium Motorsports. So really cool to see Mark winning races in the truck series. The Hillman family, long legacy with Hillman Sr. and Mike, all winning races in the truck series.
Speaking of Tyler Ankrum, he's running in 10th, Chris Wilner.
Yeah, and doing a nice job so far keeping the truck clean. I talked to Tyler before he swung a leg over into the cockpit, and I said, what's this approach today? Because you're only 7 points above the cut line starting this first round. He said, I don't think we have a race-winning truck. I'll be brutally honest with you, but what we have is a winning pit crew, and I feel like that if we can get a couple of spots on pit road during the course of the race and I can get some clean air, I can certainly make a case to run this truck toward the front. You guys mentioned it. His scheme today honors Tommy Ellis's 1986 red, white, and blue scheme, former Xfinity champion. He wants to do him proud, but feels like that they can't be too aggressive in this opening race. They've got good tracks coming up for them, so right now it's about maximizing points, and it could start by gaining positions on pit road.
Challenge and change for the race lead. Lane Riggs to the inside and around his teammate Chandler Smith here on the front straightaway. Now we've got a battle beginning to shape up for the number 3 spot off turn 4.
That's where Corey Heim has caught Grant Enfinger. Matter of fact, Heim will angle his Toyota to the bottom of the racetrack, racing for 3rd.
Takes a peek to the inside now on entry. Oh, up and into the outside wall hard. The second place machine walloping the fence was Chandler Smith. May have had a race run tire go down. He has pancaked mistake. The right side of that machine, he had been running second.
And Chandler Smith is perilously slow coming off of turn number 2. He pulls down to the left side of the track and allows everyone else at full speed to pass him to his right. Chandler Smith now on the apron in turn 3.
Heartbreak for the 38 of Chandler Smith. He got into the wall in turn 3 on the previous lap, went down the front stretch after losing the lead and hard into the turn 1 wall. Left side of that truck almost coming off the ground after that right front tire went down.
Right now, he is bringing the truck, that is, to the pit lane. Chandler came in as the 3rd seed. He was 16 points above the good, or to the good, above the cut line. And right now, he is behind the 8 ball, Wendy Venturini. He's in front of you.
Yeah, it sounded like a cut tire for Chandler Smith. They're going to check the right front suspension. They feel like there's some damage to the right front suspension. They're calling for hammers on the right side of the truck. Extensive damage for Chandler Smith, and they said there is a cut on the tire, so they will continue to work on this truck. They're trying to see if they give him a thumbs up and send him back out.
The good news for Chandler Smith is you get 3 races in this opening round. We got Bristol coming up and then New Hampshire Motor Speedway as well. Chandler Smith, with his problem right now, has fallen outside of the top 8 in points. He's now 4 points behind as we work stage number 1.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in the Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out and we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin bump.
We're on pit road.
4 tires to Sonoma Racing Fuel. The race off from pit road is Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones goes off.
We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com.
Chandler Smith is rolling off the pit lane. He's lost 3 laps. He will now lose a 4th lap as race leader Lane Riggs goes flying by to his right on exit of the pit lane. 16 laps complete, 29 to go here in stage number 1. Lane Riggs shows the way over Corey Heim and Grant Enfinger. From Darlington Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Win at Talladega. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple-header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes.
We gotta go.
Throw in a can't-miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
This is Kyle Larson. I'm David Grouse.
Hi, I'm Donnie Shaw.
This is Brian Brown.
This is Danny Dietrich.
Wing Nation is your go-to destination for all the latest sprint car news and interviews from the stars of sprint car racing from around the country. This is Steve Post. Aaron Evernham, Ashley Strummy, and I will have all the latest news, insights, and conversations on Wing Nation's YouTube or Facebook pages, or listen and download and subscribe to Wing Nation on any podcast platform.
Wing Nation.
Wing Nation.
Wing Nation.
Wing Nation.
Wing Nation. All sprint cars, all the time.
Welcome back to Darlington Raceway. Things have gone from bad to worse for playoff contender Chandler Smith. Went back out on the racetrack and has blown another right front tire, and he's brought that truck back to the attention of his crew. As a matter of fact, looks like he's nosed it right up against the inside pit wall as the team begins to do their service on the truck. Now, here is a look at who's getting it done out on the track right now, presented by Craftsman. Mid-project regret syndrome? Not on your watch. Power up your DIY game, literally, with the Craftsman V20 lineup. One battery system, 100-plus products, and a million reasons to build on. Learn more at Craftsman.com.
Driver that's been on the move so far is Matt Crafton. He has gained 8 spots since the dropping of the green flag 20 laps ago. Matt right now running in the 14th position. And of course, since we were on the track last with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, Matt Crafton announcing that this will be his final year of racing in this series. Proving today, though, he's not ready for the rocking chair. He's just trying to crack his way into the top 10 and have a shot to win this thing. And good run so far for Matt Crafton.
Potential problem for Caden Honeycutt. Another playoff driver is off the pace on the backstretch. Chris Wilner, you're in his pit box. What can you report?
Well, they don't know exactly what the problem is, but Caden Honeycutt says, I feel like I have a flat. Now, they're working with some of the pictures that are taken around the racetrack, as well as spotter Chris Lambert, and all of them have said that the tires look up. So there's another issue that's not a flat tire, but the crew is out there ready for the Hallmark Friesen team for Caden Honeycutt, who entered the playoffs today, 9th in the standings, 2 points below the cut line, and now starting to fall back. He now has a problem. Left front, I'm hearing, is the issue.
Matt Mills now wallops the outside retaining wall. No apparent flat tires on the right side, but he just got up and pancaked the safer barrier as well. The Darlington Stripes beginning to take their toll.
And we continue under the green flag. So as Caden Honeycutt has his problem on the racetrack, Caden has finally been able to bring that truck to the bottom of the racetrack. He's coming to pit road. Matt Mills wallops the wall in front of Dave. Alex, we're only 22 laps into the 147.
And a problem for Matt Crafton, who's making a pit stop right now. Very slow on the right side. His right side of his highlighter yellow Menards entry has got a Darlington stripe down the side of it as Caden Honeycutt now finally gets his truck to pit lane. Ross, there's a lot happening right now with a lot of these teams and a couple of playoff contenders.
Yeah, all right front tires going down, guys. So hard to tell. It's so much going on the racetrack. If they're getting into the wall and these steel bodies on these trucks are cutting the right front tire, although Matt Crafton looked like he did not have any damage on the right side of his truck, so that was probably a cut. Remember, the 38 rolled around with damage. There's been other trucks on and off pit road with issues, as we see the 52 and 42. Now, Caden Honeycutt was able to keep it out of the wall. Matt Mills, not so lucky. A lot of damage, like Chandler Smith, both hitting the wall in turn 1.
Chandler Smith taking his truck to the garage as I don't want to say the attrition rate's picking up, but the activity is picking up as far as drivers having to scramble for a problem, one reason or another, on the racetrack. But that's all a part of racing at Darlington. These walls can reach out and grab you in a heartbeat.
It does, but Ross, as a driver, if you're chugging along right now, only 24 laps into this race, are you beginning to have some concerns by all the problems the competition's having?
Yeah, I'm seeing trucks on and off pit road. I'm seeing smoke as they're limping around the 74 truck, now slow off turn 2 with a flat right rear tire. You know, you wonder, is there stuff on the racetrack? We've had Cup practice and qualifying today. I don't think Cup cars drop anything anymore, but these trucks, there's something going on to cut all these tires. I don't believe these Goodyear Eagles are just blowing out.
Right now, 25 laps complete, 20 laps to go in the opening stage of the Sober or Slammer 200. Lane Riggs continues to lead. Corey Heim is 1.7 seconds behind in second. Steve Post.
And Corey Heim, the conversation, you guys were just talking about it. Sounded like the radio traffic for Corey Heim. They're saying, Corey, stay under those tires. We've had Matt Crafton, we've had Caden Honeycutt, and a few others have had tire failures. So they are now warning their driver. He feels good about the car. The balance of the car is really, really good. Truck feels really, really good for Corey Heim. They don't want a cut tire or missed up like some of the competitors to strip them up here. So we'll see what happens with it. But he feels really good about the truck, but they're really tiptoeing, making sure that they protect the right front tire.
Dave, if he's tiptoeing, he's really fast. He's run down the race leader.
Well, he's tiptoeing at a very high rate of speed, Alex. There's no doubt about that. He has come from a country mile back, and the gap is now just 4 truck lengths.
And both the top 2 trucks of Lane Riggs and Corey Heim are about to enter some lap traffic. The first truck dead ahead is the Mason Maggio machine.
Right now, Lane Riggs goes to the top of the racetrack. Here comes Corey Heim. He'll look to the inside. Coming out of turn number 4, he's trying to ease up alongside, but he's not being aggressive, Dave, picking and choosing his spots.
We'll see what the lap trucks do here. A vast majority of the field, perhaps in response to what's been happening here in turn 1, running a much lower line. Those lap machines leave the top open for Lane Riggs.
Leaders exit turn number 2, headed down the backstretch, separated by about a truck length. Lane Riggs, the leader, dives to the bottom of the racetrack on Mason Maggio. Corey Heim, the second place truck, trying to do the same.
Heim Heim doesn't have the grip at the bottom of the track that Lane Riggs does. He's going to stay on the outside lane, but how that is going to be stuck, rather, behind that lap truck. Lane Riggs still can't get by them, and he's continuing to run side by side in turn 1.
And here comes Corey Heim. He thought for a moment about a 3-wide entry into turn number 1. Very wisely thought better of it. Now they'll go after those lap trucks, and it's nose to tail for the lead.
And Corey Heim potentially looking 3 wide to snatch the lead away from Lane Riggs as Riggs and Heim continue to race in lap traffic. They're side by side in 3.
Here's Corey Heim at the bottom of the racetrack. Lane Riggs top side, got a lap truck directly ahead, and Heim's going to have to give up the ghost. He's going to swing by Spencer Boyd on the outside. Close call for Corey Heim in second.
Lane Riggs shoehorned himself to the outside of the Spencer Boyd machine. Now Corey Heim's back on the attack. He'll go to the inside. They're side by side in 2.
Corey Heim's got a fender alongside the Lane Riggs F-150. Drag racing down the backstretch for the top spot here in Darlington. Corey Heim dives it deep into turn 3 and will take the lead away.
Drift up the racetrack across the bow of Lane Riggs. Riggs on the counterattack off turn 4. Can't do anything with him. New race leader at the line on lap number 31 is Corey Heim, and still has lap traffic in front of him.
Into turn number 1 he comes, taking a very low line compared to the start of this race. Virtually everyone is. He'll now look to the outside of the Bailey Curry machine in turn 2.
Bailey Curry a little bit loose coming out of turn number 2. He had to get out of the throttle, and here comes Corey Heim, the race leader, pulling alongside of him, putting him a lap down in turn 3. Lane Riggs trying to follow suit.
Corey Heim becomes the 3rd different leader of the Sober or Slammer 200. Lane Riggs has led 20. Chandler Smith has led 10. Corey Heim flashes across the start-finish line to lead his 2nd.
I'm NASCAR driver Ross Chastain. On the track, it's my responsibility to be sharp and focused. On the road, it's everyone's responsibility. If you choose to drink and drive, you give up your ability to stay in control. Driving impaired puts other lives in danger, and you in jail. While crashes happen on the track, on the road, they don't have to.
This message is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Public Safety.
NASCAR Live isn't just Tuesday nights. On Thursday, we go wide open with some of the sport's biggest legends.
Dover's so good that even concrete couldn't ruin it.
And some of NASCAR's rising stars.
I don't like getting drove in the back of, and I honestly don't like doing it, but you're not buddy-buddy with everybody, and I've had to learn that.
NASCAR Live Wide Open has you covered from the rookie class all the way to the Hall of Fame. Subscribe now wherever you listen to podcasts.
3 laps on the board, no changes in the top 5 while we were away. It's still Corey Heim leading, Lane Riggs, Grant Enfinger, Ty Majeski, and Daniel Hemrick from Darlington Raceway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults age 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco.
Hey, it's Ryan Blaney, 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion. If you know me, I did Black Buffalo Long Cut. Black Buffalo is America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative. Black Buffalo was established in America in 2015, and it dips just like the real thing, without the tobacco leaf or stem. You can find Black Buffalo at thousands of retailers across the USA near you. Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative. If it's everything you love about dip, nothing you don't.
Every time the siren sounds or lights flash, someone's life is on the line. At Wheelan Engineering, we know first responders carry that weight every day. That's why for over 70 years, we've led the emergency warning industry, designing and manufacturing the lights, sirens, and safety systems they trust right here in America. Because when the mission is critical, there's no room for second best. Wheelan Engineering, trusted to protect first responders.
NASCAR. Find the NASCAR channel on your streaming device and start watching today.
The South Carolina Department of Public Safety reminds you to designate a sober driver before you celebrate with alcohol, because in South Carolina, it's sober or slammer.
As we race with 9 laps to go in stage number 1, Corey Heim is the race leader. Steve Post, Lane Riggs has fallen back now to the tone of 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, Lane Riggs, the truck has just given up the ghost as far as handling goes. It's very, very loose. He said, I can't get on the gas. I'm afraid to run up next to the wall because I don't want to tail slap the fence. And he is just on hang-on mode. They're counting down on laps. 8 laps to go in this stage. They said, take second. Don't worry about it. Don't wreck your truck. Trying to go up and challenge Corey Heim. So Lane Riggs holding on to a very, very loose race truck here as we near the end of stage number 1.
Lane Riggs 1.4 seconds behind Corey Heim, but Alex, you go another 5 seconds back to third, then another 3 seconds back to fourth. The top 5 are spread out by 10.6 seconds.
Which is not all that uncommon here, Ross Chastain, in the opening stage, where drivers who practiced yesterday, it's a different day, feel out your race truck, find out if the changes you guys made overnight are good or bad, and some teams made right adjustments, some may not.
Yeah, that 11 just continues to get lucky with their setup, guys. They just, every race this year they're leading by luck. No, it's definitely having a good working knowledge of these trucks. One thing I do want to note, coming back to 6 laps to go here, 52 Caden Honeycutt currently in 24th, did just get 1 lap back the hard way.
Problems on the racetrack for Ty Majeski. Majeski now will come to the pit lane. 6 laps to go in this first stage. He'll woe the truck down, and he'll bring that truck in for service at lap 39, Ross.
Right front flat on the 98. Heartbreak for him as he hits pit road. Just let's go down to Steve.
Ty Majeski brings that truck in, and he just radioed right front flat. He reported that the truck was loose throughout the course of it, and unfortunately, a right front flat tire. Crew does the right side tire change. They're going to see if they get around to the left side, and going to go 4 tires on this truck. They're going to make the 4 tire change. Now is the call from Joe Shear, but a right rear flat has brought playoff driver Ty Majeski down to pit road for an unscheduled stop.
Our third playoff driver to have problems in the opening stage of race number 1 of the 2025 playoffs. Chandler Smith on lap 11 cut down a right front, hit the outside safer barrier. Caden Honeycutt cut down a right front. He's 2 laps down. Honeycutt has able to get 1 of those laps back with the fresher tires. Now Ty Majeski with a right front. He is going to struggle to have to play catch up now as we get down to just 4 laps to go here in the stage.
From the driver's seat, guys, the hard part about this is these tires aren't wearing out because of wear. It's been too long of a gap between the flat tires. Something is cutting them down. And with no damage on the right front of the 98 truck, as a driver, I'm sitting in the booth or if I'm on the track, there's something out there. I hope with the stage caution, NASCAR and Darlington Raceway get every sweeper in the greater South Carolina area on the track and to clean this track.
Let's get an update on Rajah Caruth right now with Wendy.
Yeah, and listening to the radio communication, Rajah currently in the 9th position. They told Rajah that a lot of the drivers are making a ton of mistakes. Not only is the track a little bit dirty and there's debris out there, but drivers are also hitting that wall here at Darlington. So they just reminded Rajah, stay calm, stay cool, stay collected, and stay off that wall.
He's 8th right now, or rather 9th, I should say. Jake Garcia, Corey Day. Good 3-truck battle on the backstretch.
Heading down the Boeing backstretch, racing to turn 3. Jake Garcia has got the truck of Ty Majeski to his inside. Majeski on fresher tires, they go to 3.
Meanwhile, out of turn number 2 and halfway up the Boeing backstretch, we have 1.5 laps left in the opening stage. Corey Heim has now opened things up by 1.7 seconds as he dials up the low lane in turns 3 and 4.
Up off of turn number 4, he'll begin the final lap now of stage number 1. Valuable stage points are on the line for these drivers as they race off to turn number 1.
And let's be clear, Corey Heim is no happier with the handling of his race truck than anybody else in the field. It's just a 4-wheel drift as he fights to keep the rear end under him out of 2.
And Corey Heim does not have to push the issue right now. He is coming up on the back bumper of the Connor Mosack Chevrolet. He does not have to pass him, although this time in 3, Heim looks low in the corner.
Here comes Corey Heim out of turn number 4. He'll angle that Toyota Tundra off the corner and up against the safer barrier. Green and white checkered flag is waving at the start-finish line. Corey Heim wins stage 1 of the Sober or Slammer 200. He'll get 10 stage points and 1 playoff point. That brings his total stage point tally to 274 and his playoff point tally to 66. Lane Riggs comes across the line in second. Grant Enfinger's third. Daniel Hemrick's fourth. Gio Ruggiero is fifth, with Tyler Ankerman sixth. Tanner Gray in seventh. It's Corey LaJoie in 8th, Corey Day 9th, and Rajah Caruth rounding out the top 10.
And with that, the caution flag flies for the first time here today.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Relive the thrills of over 50 years of NASCAR racing with the Motor Racing Network's Classic Racing.
36th Annual Southern 500. They come down to the start-finish line. Bill Elliott and David Pearson get down.
We dig into the MRN audio vault for unforgettable races and moments.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500.
Available on MRN.com and podcast platforms.
Alan Kulwicki out of turn number 4, the new Winston Cup champion. He does it across the line.
MRN Classic Races.
Pit road remains closed at least for one more lap. We'll have pit stops when we come back. From Darling Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options now available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-375-3232. 800-375-3232. That's 800-375-3232. National Debt Relief, the official debt relief partner of NASCAR.
Back here at Darlington Raceway as we work under the caution flag for the first time today in what was a very eventful stage number 1.
Indeed it was. 3 playoff drivers coming to grief already. The first was Chandler Smith back at lap 11 when he hit the wall. Then the second was at lap 21 when Caden Honeycutt had a flat right front. And then the most recent lap 39 when Ty Majeski had to come to pit road for a flat right front tire. That has put them severely behind the 8 ball, and we are only 47 into the 147. Will run 100 laps to go, and who knows what'll break loose in the last 100.
So, Ross, how do you mentally, if you're one of those 3 playoff drivers, well, Chandler Smith out of the race, but the other 2 in Majeski and Honeycutt, how do you mentally just keep yourself in the game now with still 99 laps to go?
If I'm Chandler, I'm getting in my Silverado EV. He's getting in a different OEM, and I'm heading home. I honestly, guys, I don't even think I'm listening to the radio. I'm just going to cruise home and put it out of my mind, knowing that the problems will be there, but I have no more control over what happens. For Caden Honeycutt, Ty Majeski, they're both 1 lap down. They have a shot to play the strategy, catch cautions, get the free pass. They'll both be racing really hard with Dawson Sutton, Mason Maggio, Spencer Boyd, Bailey Curry as well, with a lot of nose damage on that 45 truck. But those drivers will be racing, mainly our 2 playoff drivers, really hard trying to get back on the lead lap.
What you said about Chandler, yes, it's out of your control. You can't do anything about it, but it's going to gnaw at you. How long will it gnaw at you?
Well, so for me speaking, it's Saturday here, just after noon. I'm going to head home. I'm going to try to have as normal of a night tonight. I have Sunday tomorrow to just watch the Cup race and study. I'm going to watch. And I'm going to wake up Monday morning and be ready to go. I'm going to have it behind me. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it out of my system by Monday.
Pit lane is open. Here come the lead lap trucks right now as they begin to make their way onto pit road, led by Corey Heim and others. We start our pit coverage with Wendy Venturini.
Tanner Gray was way too free on firing. The landing was okay. They're going to tighten him up with the track bar adjustment. Corey LaJoie in 8th, leaning heavy on the right rear. They're going to go one round out of the right rear plus air pressure. And Raja Karuth fired free on both ends, but it killed him on the center off. Track bar and air pressure adjustment with his 4 tires. Steve Post.
Daniel Hemrick is in. Right rear grip is what he was complaining about. They're going to make one adjustment on that truck and send him back out. Here's Lane Riggs, as we documented. Very loose all the way around the racetrack. Chassis adjustment. 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. First pit box is Corey Heim. No visible adjustments. Minor air pressure changes to adapt to the track. Corey Heim, the first one down and away, Chris Wilner.
Brent Enfinger complaining that he lost grip, especially on the top side of the racetrack. Said, I don't want to run up there. They made an air pressure adjustment, also went up around on the track bar to help him. Said after 20 laps, it was just hard on the right rear, and I was trying to manage it through the way out. They made the adjustments on that truck. A clean pit stop for them. Tyler Ingram wrecking free in 1 and 2. 4 tires and air pressure adjustment in Sunoco Fuel. And Gio Ruggiero actually liked the handling of his race truck. They're late in the run. Said, we need to set this thing up for the bottom. That's going to be key for us to race here on out. 4 tires Sunoco Fuel across this end of pit road.
Corey Heim, the first off of pit lane. Grant Enfinger was second with Lane Riggs, Tyler Ankrum, and Daniel Hemrick. The Fast 5 off the pit lane at lap 49.
Here's what you missed last week on Toyota Gazoo Racing. Bubba was totally... as he... around the pack, managing to... across the finish line to claim me in victory lane. Now you're up to speed. You in? Follow the action at tgrna.com. Toyota, let's go places. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
Looking for a weekly motorsports podcast to stay up to date on what's happening on and off the track? The Motor Racing Network is the place. Hear from NASCAR crew chiefs on MRN Crew Call. All the happenings from regional touring series and local tracks on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Sprint Car Talk on Winged Nation. NASCAR history on MRN Classic Races. And hear from the drivers on NASCAR Live. MRN podcasts available on MRN.com, YouTube, or your favorite podcast platform.
Back at Darlington Raceway, wrapping up caution flag number 1, coming out for the end of stage 1. Stage 2 will come up. It'll be about 37 laps in duration. From Darlington Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Go behind the scenes and into the garages of the sport's top teams and drivers on NASCAR Hot Pass.
You know, if you win, then your problems are likely solved. There's going to be issues with track limits in the S's, right? Because they're just tight.
A normal occurrence is qualifying from 28th to 32nd. That's just something we're going to continue to keep on working on.
It's the latest information you want to know on NASCAR Hot Pass. Weekdays on the Motor Racing Network.
The thrills of NASCAR racing from over 55 years of Motor Racing Network broadcasts.
Bobby Allison brings the race car right down in the middle of the track, crosses the start-finish line, and he will win the 24th annual Daytona 500.
Bill Elliott wins the Hooters 500. Alan Kulwicki, 1992 champion.
MRN Classic Races.
And in the whole pack, steaming for the finish line, Dale Earnhardt wins the Winston 500.
Find all the classic moments on MRN Classic Races on any podcast platform.
Back at Darlington Raceway, 51 laps are complete. Corey Heim continues to lead.
As we race here, the Sober Slammer 200 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Privileged to welcome South Carolina Highway Patrol Commander Colonel Christopher Williamson. How you doing today?
Doing great, sir. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. This is the 4th year partnering up now with Darlington Raceway, and your 3rd year as the entitlement sponsor for today's race, the Sober Slammer 200. Walk us through why this partnership was a priority.
Well, the partnership is a priority because NASCAR has so many fans, and it's a great way to partner with NASCAR and Ross Chastain and reach thousands and thousands of people to get our safety message out. And the more people we reach, the better off we are saving lives.
Obviously, you've been a trooper for over 30 years. Can you speak to how difficult it is when you arrive at these accident scenes and you see a victim that wasn't wearing a seatbelt?
a very, very difficult. You have to share that with loved ones who lose a family member. And we try to, again, back why the partnership is so special is that we see NASCAR drivers and they drive fast, but they always wearing their seat belts. And I think I heard from Ross, they have like 9 seat belts they put on. And sometimes we have difficulty getting people to put on one seat belt. So please wear your seat belt. You can save lives and injuries.
Well, for what y'all do and what the troopers do behind the scenes and after the fact, that's such a tough thing for me as the driver in a NASCAR race. I want to try to be part of the proactive part. So I'm not going to be there for the tough conversations. I want to have the good conversations here at the track when someone is going to have a drink, have some alcohol, have a beer, but have a plan. We want everybody to get out of here, whoever's driving, to be sober so that the troopers are only here to mitigate the traffic flow out of the racetrack and nobody that's intoxicated. So that's why it's so important for me, guys, to be a part of this. And working with Mr. Williams for so long has been a true honor.
Well, the honor is all mine. We truly appreciate it with the Highway Patrol and Department of Public Safety, sir.
We appreciate you and your entire team for keeping everybody safe on the roads and the highways in South Carolina. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank NASCAR, and we thank everybody for the great partnership.
That's the South Carolina Highway Patrol Commander, Colonel Christopher Williamson.
Field has doubled up for the restart. Pace car is on pit road. The green flag will fly at lap 53. That'll leave us 37 laps to go in stage 2 of the Sober or Slammer 200. Field inches towards the restart zone, and green flag is back up and in the air, and Corey Heim is gone already. Meanwhile, Grant Enfinger gets a tailgate full from Tyler Ankrum.
He leaves Enfinger in the dust, does Corey Heim. Around the outside, Riggs will go to the second spot. Daniel Hemrick powers high side for third.
Daniel Hemrick will take that third spot away from Grant Enfinger. Enfinger looks in his rearview mirror and sees the Tanner Gray truck right behind him.
Off the corner, they race back to the start-finish line. Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger, Lane Riggs. Everybody just trying to sort everything out. Here comes Daniel Hemrick blasting around the outside of Riggs. He'll take the second spot.
Daniel Hemrick laying him down in fast fashion here since the restart. Right up next to the safer barrier, trying to close the gap on Heim.
Daniel Hemrick has a very fast pickup truck this afternoon. He has gotten around Lane Riggs for the second position and now is looking inside of Corey Heim, the leader in 3.
Off the turn, number 4 now comes side by side. Daniel Hemrick to the bottom of the racetrack. Corey Heim topside has the momentum. He'll swing around and maintain the top spot. Hemrick falls in line in second and tries to recoil and challenge again.
Riggs just a car length and a half, truck length and a half back in third. Another truck length back to Grant Enfinger. That's the top 4 running nose to tail.
Enfinger trying to recover after losing a couple of spots on the restart. He is now pulled up to the back tailgate of Lane Riggs. That is the battle for third in 3.
Everybody just trying to keep Corey Heim at arm's length. You better shoot while the geese are flying. Right now, Daniel Hemrick's giving him all he can, but Corey Heim starting to tiptoe away. He's first. You got Hemrick second. The battle for third tightens in 1.
The finger is on the move. He looks to the inside now of Lane Riggs. That's the battle for third place. Riggs on the outside. Enfinger looking low kick at the pull-off turn 2.
Grant Enfinger in his black and yellow Chevrolet directly behind Lane Riggs, racing down the back straightaway, battling for third. Up front, Daniel Hemrick takes another peek low on Corey Heim.
Can't quite get the room he needs, can Hemrick. He'll fall back in line behind the tailgate of the race-leading Corey Heim truck. Right now, front 4 right together, headed to turn 1.
They have indeed broken away from the 5th place machine of Tanner Gray. Gray's got a little bit of company in his rearview mirror. That courtesy of Gio Ruggiero.
Behind Gio Ruggiero is the Corey LaJoie Chevrolet. 1 spot behind LaJoie, that is where you find Tyler Ankrum. Those trucks race single file back to the corner.
What was a battle for the lead has turned into a battle for second because Daniel Hemrick is falling into the clutches of Lane Riggs and Grant Enfinger. They race for second, third, and fourth with 32 to go in stage 2.
Down the front straightaway into turn 1. Hemrick enters very low but slides up across the nose of Lane Riggs. Riggs will cross him over, looking to the bottom, but there's nothing there.
This is the ongoing fight for the runner-up spot happening behind the leader Corey Heim, who is driven away by about a truck length. It's Hemrick second, Riggs is third, Enfinger fourth.
Good race here at the front of the field as they come up off of turn number 4. Now, Ty Majeski, he's back on the lead lap after doing the wave around earlier. So Majeski trying to rally back from an unscheduled stop earlier. Caden Honeycutt, another playoff driver, is the first truck one lap down right now. He's back in the 20th position, in position to try to get a free pass. Meanwhile, the battle for the leads on the backstretch.
Here comes Lane Riggs trying to power his way back to the lead on the outside. Riggs up against the safer barrier. Heim down low.
Power move and a flex for Lane Riggs off the end of the back straightaway. Steps to the outside of Corey Heim. Lane Riggs goes back to the lead at Darlington. Lane Riggs will lead his 21st lap of the afternoon and starts to pull away.
I think he caught Heim by surprise on entry into turn 1. He'd been pounding away on the bottom. This time he just revved it up next to the safer barrier and drove right around Corey Heim.
Lane Riggs, the race leader, now trying to scoot away from Corey Heim. The battle for third continues to be tight in turn 3. Daniel Hemrick and Grant Enfinger.
Grant Enfinger right now running in position number 4, taking a look to the outside. And how about Gio Ruggiero? He's not in the playoff discussion, but he is in the discussion of top 5 competitors as he's watching Enfinger peel to the inside of Hemrick for third.
Grant Enfinger got a great run off turn number 4. He'll slide underneath the 19 truck of Daniel Hemrick, slide across the nose, move Enfinger to third.
Enfinger to third, the Daniel Hemrick truck now to 4th, and Gio Ruggiero on the prowl, back in the 5th spot. Battle for 6th in turn 3. That's where you find Tanner Gray and a hard-charging Corey LaJoie.
Who dives for the bottom of the racetrack, but we continue the focus at the front of the field. It's still Lane Riggs up front, Corey Heim second, and Chris Wilner, Grant Enfinger, a solid third.
Yeah, and it was a nice rebound for Grant Enfinger, Alex, after that restart where he plummeted a couple of positions. Listening into the radio chatter, Grant said it just fired off really hard on the splitter, and it really forced him to get out of the gas a lot sooner. Now the tires are up to pressure, and crew chief Jeff Stankiewicz just said, go hard here, try to get at least 1 or 2 trucks, get your spot back, then start saving, because of course we're on sticker tires. We can go a little bit harder, a little bit quicker, and then save something for the end. So Grant's going to try to back off here, I believe, and try to save some tire once he got around Daniel Hemrick, but certainly a good recovery here for Grant, who tries to maximize the day and get points as they can in that CR7 Chevy.
And with the way he entered today, he came in 4 points above the cut line in the 7th position. Right now, with all that's happened, he's up to 4th on the playoff leaderboard, 35 to the good. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the NASCAR Racing Network. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is racing at Darlington Raceway today. Motor Racing Network with you live with coverage of the Sober or Slammer 200. It's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series playoff opener. I'm Mike Bagley alongside Alex Hayden and Ross Chastain. Dave Mooney and Tim Catalfamo are in the corners. We've got pit and garage coverage today from Steve Post, Chris Wilner, and Wendy Venturini. We have completed 64 of 147 laps. The lead so far, it has been monopolized by Corey Heim. Lane Riggs has taken his turn atop the leaderboard. So has Chandler Smith. Corey Heim just had the lead after this most recent restart, but it's now Lane Riggs that's gone back to the top of the leaderboard.
So why don't we tell you where your favorite driver is running at this stage of the race on lap number 65. Lane Riggs is the leader. Corey Heim is second. Grant Enfinger goes third, and Daniel Hemrick is fourth. Gio Ruggiero is fifth. Sixth is Tanner Gray. Seventh is Corey LaJoie. Eighth is Tyler Ankrum. Ninth is Trevor Bain. And 10th is Ben Rhodes.
Corey Day runs 11th. Rajah Caruth is 12th. Andres Perez is 13th. Timmy Hill's 14th, and Stephen Parsons is 15th. Jake Garcia is running at 16th. Jack Wood is 17th. Ty Majeski is 18th. Connor Mosak is 19th. And Caden Honeycutt is 20th.
21st is Dawson Sutton. 22nd is Mason Maggio. 23rd is Bailey Curry. Spencer Boyd goes 24th. Matt Crafton back in 25th. Tony Breidinger is 26th. Nathan Bird 27th. Caleb Costner out of the race in 28th. Matt Mills is 29th. Chandler Smith 30th. 31st Stephen Malazzi, and 32nd Clayton Green.
We have completed 67 laps, 22 now to go in stage number 2. Good battle on the racetrack for 10th, Dave, involving Ben Rhodes, Corey Day, and Rajah Caruth.
Ben Rhodes has got a rear view mirror full of Corey Day. Rajah Caruth is back there as well, just trying to keep track of it all as they make their way to the back straightaway.
These three trucks were all knotted up a moment ago in turns 3 and 4 the last time by. Here is the Corey Day truck now diving to the bottom on Ben Rhodes.
Ben Rhodes will just give up that spot. Now we're going to do the crossover, does Rhodes, and try to get it right back here as this battle continues for the 10th spot. Now, Ross Chastain joining us here in the broadcast booth as he gets set for tomorrow's Cookout Southern 500. You've won here at Darlington Raceway before. Now, race leader Lane Riggs jumped out and led the first 25-30 laps of this race, and his truck began to fade. As a driver, what types of things can you do to try to prevent that from happening this stage?
Well, we heard the report from our pit reporters that the 34 got really loose, just had nothing else left to go fight the 11, and the 11 really came on strong, as he has shown all year the second half of the run. And this time, guys, the 34 passed the 11 so fast down in 1 and 2 on this set of tires. Well, I missed it. I was looking the other way, and in a split second, he entered the corner behind him. I looked away. He exited turn 2 on his outside. So interesting to see if the 34 can, if they've done enough adjustments on that front row motorsports truck to keep the back of the race truck in the track for the entirety of this run. As we're just past halfway through stage 2. We'll see. Corey Heim has stayed right at about a second back now. We'll see if he's able to close that gap like he did in stage 1.
And the 34 is Lane Riggs. The 11 is Corey Heim. They are 1 and 2, and they are 2.5 seconds over Grant Enfinger, who has settled in the third position. Tim Calafamo basically all by himself on the racetrack.
Right now, Grant Enfinger just watching these two drivers of Lane Riggs and Corey Heim run their lines. He's too far back to challenge right now.
They come up off of turn number 4 as the leader, Lane Riggs, whips by the start-finish line. Then Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger rides right along there. Grant Enfinger, in his 7th playoff appearance, has made the championship for the last 2 consecutive seasons. And Grant Enfinger now begins to tiptoe a little closer to the tailgate of Corey Heim.
Right now, the separation between the 2nd and 3rd place trucks are about 7 truck lengths. Again, Corey Heim in 2nd, Grant Enfinger in 3rd. A distant 4th is Daniel Hemrick.
As the leaders come out of turn number 4, they cross the start-finish line. 18 laps to go in stage 2.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers, and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
No changes in the top 5 while we were away. It is Lane Riggs, Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger, Daniel Hemrick, Gio Ruggiero. They are positions 1 through 5. Tanner Gray is running in 6th. You got Corey LaJoie in 7th, Tyler Ankerman 8th, Trevor Bain is 9th, and Corey Day is 10th. 16 to go in stage 2. From Darlington Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Hello? Hey, it's your man Tank. Watching you hold back tears swallowing that celery stick. It's a hard sight to see, Tim.
I'm almost done. Just let me get this down.
Stop it, man. Seriously. We don't have to do this to us.
You're right. I hate veggies so much. How can I be more like you?
Hey, buddy, I am you. Just full of meat. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, official meat snack of NASCAR. Feed your wild side.
You've never been one to idly watch someone else do something for you. There's pride in self-reliance, in working with your hands, in harnessing the power of an E3 spark plug with Diamond Fire technology, yielding better engine performance. You have a choice to make. Take control of your ride, of your life, or be the passenger princess of it. Visit e3sparkplugs.com to put the power in your hands.
Back Back at Darlington Raceway, Lane Riggs continues to rule the roost here in the Sober or Slammer 200. Everybody in hot pursuit of that. Front Row Motorsports Ford F-150. Lane out in front by 1.4 seconds with 13 to go in Stage 2.
As he continues to show the way. Just joining us, Will, there's been a lot going on, especially back in stage number 1, involving 3 different playoff contenders. First being Chandler Smith, came into this third on the playoff grid. Right now, he is out of the race in 30th position of the 32 trucks, cannot improve his position, and Chandler Smith finds himself 2 points to the good. That's it. His advantage that he had when the playoffs started about 45 minutes ago or so has essentially been lost as Caden Honeycutt, another playoff driver on lap 20, cut down a right front tire. He lost 2 laps in the process. He's now 1 lap down. The first truck is 1 or more laps down in position for the free pass. Ty Majeski also cut down a right front tire on lap number 40. They took a wave around, and they are still on the lead lap right now, getting themselves back in the ball game.
Let's get an update on the leaders with Steve Post.
The lead duo down here, they've been mixing it up, and this is the point in stage number 1 where Corey Heim got the upper hand, and both crews on the radio are talking about this point in the run. Let's talk about Lane Riggs. He's the leader. This is much better than it was in the first run. He cued the mic 3 or 4 laps in, and he said, guys, the balance on this truck is so much better than it was in stage number 1. So we'll see what that means as far as longevity goes. Now, on the opposite side of that, Corey Heim, for the first time, has had a little criticism of his truck. He said it's a little bit free. So a little bit free for Corey Heim, and Lane Riggs is pretty happy with the truck, and Riggs continues to set the pace here now as we're down to just about 10 laps to go, I think it is, in this stage, and looks like Lane Riggs has got this thing a little bit better on the long run than he had in stage number 1.
So what does the loose vehicle feel like here at Darlington, Ross?
For the 11, it feels like one that's going to go to the lead, guys. With 10 laps to go here, coming back to 9, we're going to have a race on our hands to end this stage.
I think you're going to be right about that as he's beginning to run down Lane Riggs for the top spot. 9 to go here in the stage. As a young driver racing at Darlington Raceway, how difficult is it to learn the lessons of wearing out your tires too soon?
Well, we all look at Corey Heim and we think he's doing all this, right? It's just he's so good. He's put in the work. Years of driving the Tricon truck, years of working with that 11 team. And that's where some of us learn to do it. We learn to do it by trial and error. And in this day and age of instant gratification and needing to see results right away, a guy like Corey, he didn't win the first year he drove the truck part-time. It took time for Scott Zipadelli and that whole group that David Gilliland has assembled with Toyota and TRD surrounding him, coaching him, teaching him with their simulators, I'm sure, with their driver coaches, getting him better physical shape. And now he's able to go out and keep himself in contention when the 34 is legitimately faster right now. But we saw it at Richmond in the last Craftsman Truck Series race, and we'll have a shot to see it here again today. The work they've put in over the years has paid off this year in the 11 truck.
Watching Lane Riggs, Corey Heim coming out of turns 3 and 4, using the low lane. Dave, it seems like that perhaps maybe they may be self-medicating before they have a chance to get to pit road.
You can tell a lot by watching a driver's line. Right now, Riggs is right up next to the safer barrier. He didn't dare to run there in the last stage. He was 2 grooves down off, and that's exactly where Corey Heim is running now, way away from the outside wall.
It is Lane Riggs. He's got a couple of trucks in front of him, however, that are a lap or more down as they make their way up off of turn number 4. 6 to go now in stage number 2. Corey Heim still behind him by about a second or so, Ross.
And you talk about those lap trucks. With this stage and from the last restart, we had 19 trucks in the lead lap when we took the green. We still have 19 trucks with Jack Wood 26 seconds behind the leader. He has a good shot coming back to 5 to go of staying on the lead lap, which has a playoff implication. Caden Honeycutt currently running 20th on the leaderboard, but 11th on the racetrack. If he were on the lead lap, he has a shot to get that lap back with this caution if it all stays as it is right now. But did he burn a set of tires when he cut that tire down and he got that lap back at the end of stage 1? Well, interesting to hear from our pit reporters throughout the race if the 52 has the same amount of tires or if they're down a set after that flat earlier in the race.
5 laps to go in stage 2. Lane Riggs, Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger, Daniel Hemrick, Gio Ruggiero, they are the top 5. And once again, Alex, they are spread out. The top 5 now separated by 9.6 seconds.
I mentioned 3 playoff drivers have had problems already. Chris Wilner, do we have a 4th playoff driver with a developing problem?
A developing issue, Alex, but nothing detrimental to the race so far for Grant Enfinger, who rides in the 3rd position. Just listened in on the radio chatter. He feels like he's got a pretty significant vibration. Now, over the last 5 to 6 laps, it hasn't gotten worse, so that's the good news. And the even better news is we're coming up at the end of stage number 2 when they can put fresh new rubber on. So Grant Enfinger had to back off his pace. He was trying to run down the top 2. Now he's going to settle in that 3rd position and nurse it home and finally get a new set of tires. But a slight vibration here for Grant Enfinger at the end of stage 2.
If Grant Enfinger says he has an issue at 40 years old, he has an issue. That guy has been around so long and has put, I talked about Corey, but way longer. Grant has put the work in. It's hard to believe Grant Enfinger is 40 years old. If he has an issue, I'd believe him.
When he says he has a vibration, how do you nurse a vibration in general or here at Darlington?
I mean, it's such a tough thing. If it's truly a Goodyear Eagle tire coming apart, then you can go slower. If the rubber's starting to unravel, you've worn it out, the cords are starting to show, and it's starting to unravel the rubber in the threads, then you can go easier, but the damage is already done. If it's anything else, as a driver for me, I do go a little slower, and he's got a bit of a gap back to 4th place Daniel Hemrick, so just go a little slower and hope you don't hit the wall.
A lap and a half away from the end of stage number 2. The race leader, Lane Riggs, in lap traffic on the backstretch.
And he's trying to work his way around the Mason Maggio truck. Maggio did not make it easy for Lane Riggs off turn 2.
Off the corner they come. Final lap of stage 2 about to get underway. Lane Riggs, Corey Heim separated now by about a second and a half, but the leader's in lap traffic.
Riggs has got some daylight, but he's got lap traffic dead ahead, and they are 2 by 2 in front of him. He's going to jump down to the inside, make his way underneath the Nathan Boyd machine. 1 more to go. Heim is closing in.
Lane Riggs being very patient in lap traffic, but here comes Corey Heim. Heim has cut the lead down to just 4 truck lengths in turn 3. Riggs, though, is securely out front.
He is at the bottom of the racetrack trying to get by another lap machine off turn number 4. Successful in that endeavor, but rolls out of the throttle. But Lane Riggs will win stage number 2 here of today's Sober or Slammer 200. Top 10 get paid valuable stage points. Lane Riggs wins the stage. Corey Heim will be 2nd. Grant Enfinger will be 3rd. Daniel Hemrick comes home 4th, and Gio Ruggiero is 5th. Corey LaJoie is 6th. Tyler Ankrum 7th, Tanner Gray is 8th, Trevor Bain 9th, and Corey Day rounds out the top 10. Caution is on the speedway for now just the 2nd time.
I'm NASCAR driver Ross Chastain. On the track, it's my responsibility to be sharp and focused. On the road, it's everyone's responsibility. If you choose to drink and drive, you give up your ability to stay in control. Driving impaired puts other lives in danger, and you in jail. While crashes happen on the track, on the road, they don't have to.
This message is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Public Safety.
Drivers, start your engines!
Your home for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Green flag goes in the air and we are underway.
On the NASCAR Racing Network.
2 by 2 by 2. They're about 10 rows deep of double wide racing. Taylor Gray to the bottom. Nick Sanchez outside, and they're crashing mid-pack.
It's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on the NASCAR Racing Network.
From Darlington Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Hi, this is Mike Bagley. Join me along with the cast and crew of the Motor Racing Network every Tuesday night for NASCAR Live. Hear exclusive interviews.
It's my responsibility as a driver to leave the sport in a better place than it was when I got here. And certainly sometimes it comes with controversial takes.
The best moments from each of NASCAR's premier series.
They bang sideways at the line. Photo finish.
An in-depth breakdown to the latest NASCAR news and more. It's NASCAR Live every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern.
Steven Wilson punched his ticket at Michigan to fight for the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series title. NASCAR's officially sanctioned esports series featuring the top sim racers from around the world. The playoff field has 2 races left to decide the top 4 that will make it into the championship 4. Tune in on Tuesday, September 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern for round 2 of the playoffs from Texas, live on eNASCAR.com. Brought to you by Coca-Cola iRacing and NASCAR.
We welcome you back to Darlington Raceway as we work the caution flag for just the second time here on the opener of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series playoffs. Lane Riggs picked up the stage number 2 win. Corey Heim won stage number 1 of today's race.
Right now, the field is behind the safety car over in turn number 3. Pit road will be open here in short order. Right now, we've got some jet blowers that are on the racetrack, blowing the track, trying to make sure everything is all buttoned up for what will be the stretch run of the Sober or Slammer 200. One more lap around before pit road is open. Earlier today, we had NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying for the Cookout Southern 500. Be sure to join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for NASCAR Live Race Day and this Labor Day Classic. Ross, how was the Trackhouse Racing Chevy earlier today?
It was pretty good, boys. Rolling out in Group 2, we know we're going to be off the pace of Group 1 for fast lap in practice. I think we were second overall in Group 2. And then qualifying the Trackhouse group, we've put so much mental effort into making the right decisions coming out of practice into qualifying. We had a good base in practice, and we fell off at the end of practice a bit, so we'll make some changes overnight for tomorrow, but the transition from practice to qualifying, the one car, where we practice and where we qualify, has not been anywhere on the same chart. We got to go to the second page to get to where we usually qualify, so to qualify 6th today, it was more smiles in the one hauler after qualifying than when we've gotten the pole at other racetracks, at Watkins Glen, at Nashville a few years ago. So definitely proud of the effort because it's been a Herculean effort to get the one car qualifying better.
As good as you guys have raced on the one car on the Cup Series, the qualifying hasn't been the greatest in the world. And I think you guys will be the first to stand up and admit to that. How big of a luxury is it knowing that one of the longest races of the entire season, tomorrow in the Cookout Southern 500, you have track position and a good pit box?
Well, we've got the time to do it tomorrow if we need to, but like these trucks who are coming to pit road now, you want that track position. And for Lane Riggs, Corey Heim, let's see if they can hold it on pit road here coming into the start of Stage 3.
Right now, pit road is open, and here come lead lap trucks. They will pit at lap 94. They will ease their way onto the pit lane, and pit stops begin in front of Wendy Venturini.
Corey LaJoie has been running the lap times the same as the leaders, very competitive, but he feels like he needs more rear grip, especially that front turn to run on the bottom. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment in the rear. 4 tires for Corey LaJoie, 4 tires for Tanner Gray. He was really good, but he still needs a little bit more out of his truck. It's going to be a track bar adjustment for Tanner Gray. Steve Post.
Daniel Hemrick is in still a little bit loose on the McAnally Hilgeman Chevy. Going to be 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. Lane Riggs is in. They're going to do another chassis adjustment. It was better. They want to make it even better. He was free in turns 3 and 4. Corey Heim also a little bit free in his truck, but he takes 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. Corey Heim down and away in the first spot. Chris Wilder.
Clean pit stop for Grant Enfinger as he took on 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco Fuel. Said he just needs help with turns, so they're going to free him up just a little bit. Tyler Ankrum down and away, 4 tires. They took a round down on the right rear jack bolt as well. He got stuck back in traffic on the last restart. And Gio Ruggiero doing a nice job as well, running inside the top 10. Just said the truck feels good. We need to stay ahead of the racetrack. It's starting to tighten up, so they freed him up just a little bit. And one thing to note, coming down pit road when the lap down trucks go down, that is, it is going to be Caden Honeycutt taking his 3rd of 4 sets of Goodyear Eagle stickers that are in the box. He'll have 1 set left, but he'll be back on the lead lap.
Corey Heim, the first off the pit lane, followed by Grant Enfinger, Gio Ruggiero, Lane Riggs, and Daniel Hemrick.
DIYers, ever start a project thinking that this'll be quick, only for it to be anything but? We've all been there, and that's why you need Craftsman, DIYers' most trusted brand. Craftsman's V20 battery works across drills, saws, trimmers, mowers, and over 100 other products from the house to the backyard and beyond. No dead stops, no refuels, just grab, swap, and get it done. Because your project might fight back, but your tools shouldn't. Head to Craftsman.com to learn more. Craftsman, build on.
Hey guys, Corey LaJoie here. Make sure you catch Stacking Pennies on all the NASCAR platforms each week. We talk to some of our greatest drivers, winners, relevant stories. You never know who's going to show up.
Hall of Famers, everything, and you're going to get the best race highlights, the best content, the best scanner audio, the best reactions, and by far the best pit road breakdowns of any other podcast. Corey, where can they hear us?
You can find us on NASCAR on Tubi, SiriusXM Channel 90, wherever you find your podcasts, or on YouTube. Go check us out.
95 laps complete. We've got 52 laps to go here this afternoon in Darlington for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. The restart's coming up. First from Darlington Raceway. This is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
We are under the green flag.
Listen up, NASCAR fans. Now's the time to turn your love of racing into big-time prizes. Because NASCAR Fantasy Live is your fast lane to bragging rights.
Furious racing here.
Pick 5 drivers each week of the season. Then complete additional challenges to stack points. All for your shot at the grand prize.
So let's get this party started.
For official rules and to learn more, visit NASCAR.com/fantasy and sign up today.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out and we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin bump.
We're on pit road.
4 tires to for racing fuel. The race off from pit road is Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones goes off.
We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com.
Back at Darlington Raceway, we have just wrapped up Stage 2, and we're wrapping up caution flag number 2. Corey Heim continues to show the way. Grant Enfinger, Gio Ruggiero, Lane Riggs, Daniel Hemrick, the top 5. Tyler Ankrum will restart 6th with Trevor Bayne in 7th, Tanner Gray in 8th, Corey LaJoie 9th, and Ben Rhodes in 10th.
Meanwhile, NASCAR officials are sweeping the track out there, making sure that every little piece of debris is up as we get set for what could be the final run. This has been basically 2 long green flag stretches that we've seen here in the Truck Series at Darlington.
Yeah, that's right. As we come back to one to go in the choose, some things. Lane Riggs is still in the top 4, so he will have his option of whatever they leave him for the second row, inside or outside, after Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger, 40-year-old, getting it done on pit road. That GCM team getting it done and gaining him spots, giving him a shot to restart on the front row here to start Stage 3.
Giving a lot of love to the 40-year-olds today, aren't you, huh?
I work out with the guy, and I look at him every time I call him Pa. I'm like, hey, Pa, how are you feeling? Does your back hurt? Are the knuckles starting to lock up on you? And he's in the gym every day working out. It's amazing.
I remember when he used to race in the ARCA Menard Series way back in the day, and he made the move up, and he's been racing forever, and he has found a home here in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. But that's been going on in the trucks for a while. You got drivers that are on their way up, and then perhaps maybe drivers
on their way down as Bagman goes down.
I know, right? But drivers on the backside of their careers finding homes here in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
That's right. And for Corey Robaugh and that 9 team, putting Grant in the truck was a big decision. It had to be. Corey was the family driver for that 9, and you still see their family-owned companies on their family-owned race team, but for that Champion Power Equipment Chevy of Grant Enfinger, he puts that 9 in position to win throughout the season. He does it from team to team. He's done it with ThorSport and other teams, the old GMS back in the day. We'll see if he can give the 11 a run for it here, starting Stage 3 with 50 laps to go at Darlington, guys.
Race leader Corey Heim chooses the outside lane for the restart. Grant Enfinger opts for the bottom side of the racetrack on the front row. Row number 2 will show the Lane Riggs truck to the inside of Gio Ruggiero. Mike, as they come up off turn number 4.
49 to go when they cross the start-finish line. They are in the restart zone, and Heim is going to go late. Enfinger, though, stride for stride. Lane Riggs just wailing on the tailgate of Grant Enfinger, trying to shove him to the lead.
Grant Enfinger, old Pa, shrugging off the lumbago and the rheumatiz. He's on the bottom, and he's side-by-side with Corey Heim for the lead.
Corey Heim fighting hard on the outside of the racetrack, and out of turn number 2, it'll be Heim, the race leader. Enfinger to 2nd. Lane Riggs is 3rd. Ruggiero and Hemrick the top 5.
What a knot we've got at the front of the field. Here's Grant Enfinger again at the bottom of the racetrack. Drifts up, puts the squeeze on Corey Heim, matches him stride for stride down the front stretch. Lane Riggs joins the party as well.
Riggs right there looking for some open real estate of his own. Can't find it for the moment. Heim away with the lead. Here comes Riggs around the outside to second. Daniel Hemrick follows him for third.
Daniel Hemrick will take that third spot away from Grant Enfinger. Now here is Gio Ruggiero stepping to the left, pulling alongside of Enfinger for fourth.
This is the second restart in a row where Grant Enfinger on the second or third lap has that challenge that loses a couple of spots. That's indeed what happened last time through. It's Heim, Riggs, Hemrick, and Enfinger, the top four.
Enfinger fights off the advances of Gio Ruggiero to hang on to the number 4 position. Ruggiero runs fifth, and now Trevor Bayne cracks the top 6.
Top 5 are single file. Trevor Bayne has moved his way to 6th. Tyler Ankrum is 7th. Then you've got Corey LaJoie, the machine of Ben Rhodes and Tanner Gray, the top 10.
Here they come up off of turn number 4 yet again at the front of the field. We've got Corey Heim showing the way. He's opened up 3 truck links on Lane Riggs. It's a good nose to tailgate battle for third.
Daniel Hemrick's got the 3 spot, but he's got no daylight at all between himself and the Grant Enfinger machine. Behind Enfinger, 2 truck lengths back to Ruggiero.
Ruggiero right now calmly in the 5th position. If he looks behind him, though, he sees a fast approaching Trevor Bayne. Bayne's blue and white Toyota getting closer to Ruggiero.
Here they come off the corner now, racing back to the start-finish line. Corey Heim is the one that everybody's gunning for. Lane Riggs behind him by a truck length and a half. Dave just trying to whittle down the separation.
Just trying to ride in his tire tracks, at least for the moment, and fend off the advances of Daniel Hemrick. Hemrick, in turn, now feeling the heat from Enfinger.
Enfinger right to the back bumper of Daniel Hemrick, this time out of turn number 2. In his wake, as they race to turn number 3, both Hemrick and Enfinger will go to the bottom side of the racetrack.
Now Enfinger decides to change lanes, or lets the truck drift back to driver's right up against the red and white safer barrier. He rides 4th. He looks ahead, sees a good side-by-side battle for the number 2 spot.
Daniel Hemrick is on the move. He jumps to the inside line, gets loose all the way up the racetrack, just barely missed collecting Riggs, and now here comes Enfinger to the bottom.
What a mess that was in turn number 1. Lane Riggs was able to grab the 2nd spot away. Hemrick to 3rd. Battle is still on for 4th with Enfinger and Ruggiero.
Boy, that had a little pucker factor to it there last time through turn 1 and 2 for Daniel Hemrick. I don't know how he didn't collect Lane Riggs, but by all that jostling for second, that's allowed Corey Heim to pull away at the start-finish line by 1 second back to the corner.
Hemrick did not lose any spots on the exchange, but I guarantee his right rear tire is angry, and he probably took 10 laps off its life.
And as all of these drivers continue to race hard for the 2nd position, you mentioned it a moment ago, Corey Heim is continuing to pull away as the race leader. He's got 5 truck lengths over Lane Riggs.
Getting on with getting gone, Corey Heim, as he works his way up off of turn number 4. Back down to the line, 42 laps to go now. In the Sober or Slammer 200, it's the playoff opener for the trucks as the field races to 1.
And it's all Corey Heim for the moment. 5, maybe 6 truck lengths the advantage over Riggs, who rides in second. 2 more back to Hemrick, 1 more to Grant Enfinger.
Daniel Hemrick had to come out of the gas coming off of turn number 2, and he allows Grant Enfinger to get right back to him in turn 3. Enfinger, though, can't do anything with Hemrick. They race for 3rd.
Enfinger will ride along in the 4th position. Gio Ruggiero, though, getting a lot of company at the back door. How about old Trevor Bayne jumping in for Tricon Garage today? Victory Junction on the quarter panels, Dave, and Trevor's looking for room to race.
T. Bayne has spent the afternoon going to school figuring this truck out, and I think he's got it figured now. He is looking for a spot in the top 5 as they race the back straightaway.
Trevor Bayne again holding down the 6th position. Further up, Grant Enfinger continues to pester the back bumper of Daniel Hemrick.
Here they come up off turn number 4. Grant Enfinger still to the bottom of the racetrack. Can't find the room he needs to get a pass on. He'll slide back behind the tire tracks of Daniel Hemrick. Good racing inside the top 5.
Right behind them, the battle for 5th now beginning to heat up. Trevor Bayne is closed in to it just a truck length or so off the back bumper of Gio Ruggiero.
And don't look now, but back in the 2nd position, Lane Riggs is slowly starting to reel in the race leader, Corey Heim. A lap or 2 ago, the lead for Heim was 5 truck lengths. Now it's down to 2.
Here's Grant Enfinger behind Heim on the loose. He's going to dive to the inside of Daniel Hemrick. He'll slide across the nose of Hemrick. He'll complete the pass, put Grant Enfinger in third, and shuffle Daniel Hemrick back to fourth.
We'll see if Enfinger now can close in on Lane Riggs in the number 2 spot as Riggs begins to reel in the leader, Corey Heim.
Riggs trying to run down Corey Heim for the top spot. Grant Enfinger has finally gotten around Daniel Hemrick for third. Gio Ruggiero is 5th. Trevor Bayne 6th. Daniel, the machine I should say, of Tyler Ankrum rather in the 7th position.
The lead for Corey Heim is dissipating. Lane Riggs is running him down. Let's follow up in the Corey Heim race leading pit with Steve Post.
As Corey Heim had a little bit of an issue at the end of that stage, just a minor hole, a puncture in one of his tires that did not even go down. So a little bit of a close call for Corey Heim here, but they're good to go now and just hanging on to see how they can go in this side-by-side or toe-to-toe battle with Lane Riggs.
Right now on the racetrack, it is Riggs trying to track down Corey Heim in what will be a battle for the lead. 37 to go when they come across the line. Grant Enfinger right behind them in third. Battle for fourth shaping up with Daniel Hemrick and Gio Ruggiero.
Hemrick has fallen back into the clutches of Ruggiero as now Grant Enfinger has pulled away by a substantial margin in position number 3.
Enfinger right now all by himself in the 3rd spot. The battle for 4th continues with Daniel Hemrick and Gio Ruggiero. There's the battle for the lead. Lane Riggs to the inside of Corey Heim.
Side by side in turn number 3. Now side by side in the 4th corner. Outside lane normally has the advantage, but Corey Heim cannot clear Lane Riggs. Riggs trading paint with Corey Heim headed to turn 1.
Nose to nose into turn number 1. Riggs slides up the banking across the nose of Corey Heim. He's got the lead in turn 2. Heim tries the crossover, nothing there.
Corey Heim not done with Lane Riggs just yet. He is right on the back tailgate racing to turn number 3. Here is Heim diving to the bottom. Lane Riggs sticks to the outside.
Ross, this is a very intense battle for the lead. How do you maintain your presence in that battle without blowing your tires out?
Well, for Lane Riggs, when you have that opportunity, you want to take it. I do see as he comes by, guys, the Goodyear gone off of the right front tire. So I don't know if that was contact with the 11, contact on the restart. I'm just now seeing it. But if you're the 34, if I am, and I get a fender alongside that 11 truck, I'm taking the clean air like he did in turn 1.
And control the race from this point out. Lane Riggs has the lead, but not so fast. Corey Heim dives for the bottom of the racetrack again, while these two duke it out for the top spot. 3rd place running Grant Enfinger beginning to make his presence felt now. Enfinger is some 5 truck lengths, call it 7, back behind the lead duo.
Looking to make this a 3-man dance for the lead. He's got a little more work to do. Riggs has checked out by 2 truck lengths now over Corey Heim. 6 more back to Enfinger.
And right behind Grant Enfinger, about 10 truck lengths behind in the 4th position is Daniel Hemrick. Hemrick, for the moment, has been able to drive away from Gio Ruggiero.
So while we have an opportunity to catch our breath, let's give you a full field rundown here. We got 33 laps to go. Lane Riggs leads. Corey Heim is 2nd. Grant Enfinger is 3rd. Daniel Hemrick's 4th. Gio Ruggiero is 5th. Trevor Bayne is 6th. Tyler Ankrum is 7th. With Ben Rhodes in 8th, Corey LaJoie in 9th, and Tanner Gray in 10th.
Ty Majeski back up to 11th. Jake Garcia is 12th. Andres Perez de Lara is 13th. Timmy Hill is 14th. Caden Honeycutt back on the lead lap is rallied back to 15th. Connor Mozak is 16th with Corey Day 17th. Rajah Caruth is 18th. Stephen Parsons 19th and Jack Wood 20th.
Dawson Sutton is 21st. Matt Crafton is 22nd. Spencer Boyd is 23rd. Tony Breidinger is 24th and Bailey Curry's 25th. Mason Maggio is 26th with Nathan Bird in 27th. You've got the Caleb Costner truck in 28th. Matt Mills is 29th and Chandler Smith is out in 30th.
31st is Stephen Malazzi. 32nd, Clayton Green. We're down to 31 laps to go.
NASCAR history.
What I learned from Ken Squire, Barney Hall, and Ned Jarrett, I could never repay. Ken never told me what to say or what not to say. I learned very quickly that I was never going to be another Ken Squire. I don't think anybody could rise to that level.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcasts 50 years of MRN. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Steven Wilson punched his ticket at Michigan to fight for the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series title. NASCAR's officially sanctioned esports series featuring the top sim racers from around the world. The playoff field has 2 races left to decide the top 4 that will make it into the championship 4. Tune in on Tuesday, September 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern for round 2 of the playoffs from Texas, live on eNASCAR.com. Brought to you by Coca-Cola iRacing and NASCAR.
From Darlington Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
From legendary races to heart-pounding finishes, NASCAR Channel is your 24/7 pit stop for all things NASCAR. Streaming classic moments, iconic rivalries, and behind-the-scenes stories from the world's greatest drivers. Dive into the NASCAR culture with shows about the cars, the teams, and the personalities that make it America's most exciting motorsport. Best of all, it's completely free. Stream anytime, anywhere. No fees, no strings, just NASCAR. Start streaming now on Tubi.
Hi, folks. Kyle Petty here. I want to tell you about a place that's dear to my heart, Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by making a donation today. Any amount will help kids attend camp for free. Help make a difference by visiting victoryjunction.org/donate.
We welcome you back to Darlington Raceway. It is the playoff opener for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the Sober or Slammer 200. 27 laps to go, and here's a look at who's getting it done out there on the track right now. Presented by Craftsman. Mid-project regret syndrome? Not on your watch. Power up your DIY game, literally, with the Craftsman V20 lineup. One battery system, 100-plus products, and a million reasons to build on. Learn more at craftsman.com.
Tip of the cap to ThorSport Racing and Ben Rose. Started back in the 21st position earlier today. Ben has gained 13 spots, put him 8th right now on the leaderboard. And even though he's not in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series playoff picture, he has emerged, Alex, inside of the top 10 to make himself a force in today's Sober or Slammer 200.
You mentioned playoff picture. Right now, the front 4 are all playoff drivers, led by Lane Riggs. Corey Heim second, Grant Enfinger third, and Daniel Hemrick is fourth. If you're wondering, the eventual series champion won the opening race of the playoffs only one time. That happened back in 2017 when Christopher Bell got the victory.
Right now, Lane Riggs is the man that everyone is chasing. And in case you're just joining us, we've got 25 laps to go. And if anybody missed it, Steve Post, are we expecting anybody else to come down the pit lane in this last 25? Obviously, Steve Post checking on a story. Chris Wilner will ask you that question.
Yeah, Mike, checking with the teams before the race, we're well inside the fuel window in this Stage 3, so no concerns about not being able to go the distance. Of course, if you ask any driver up and down pit lane, they would love for a caution to come down and take fresh tires, but this thing has just been a long green flag run after another, but everybody's good to go to the end, Mike. The question is, how are those tires and who can manage them and make some progress here in the final 24 laps?
It's Lane Riggs at the front of the field. 24 laps to go in this one. His lead is 1 second over second place Corey Heim. Third place Grant Enfinger has now fallen 2.2 seconds behind the race leader, Mike, as they all come up off turn number 4.
Dave, it's been pretty impressive to watch some of the moves that we've seen made today. You're right there in the alley. You're right there when they commit to go to the top of the racetrack in turn 1. What's it like from the Lane Riggs perspective, the Corey Heim perspective, and how well their trucks have handled in front of you today?
Well, it'll take your breath. There's no doubt about that. They're running very different lines at this end of the racetrack. Riggs is right up next to the safer barrier. Corey Heim running much lower on the racetrack, and in the last 3 or 4 laps, Corey Heim has begun to whittle away at that lead.
Lane Riggs, Ross, has been running the bottom of the racetrack here the last handful of laps through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, we heard it reported earlier. When they're confident, they're up by the wall. When they're not, they're down the racetrack. Last time through 3 and 4, the 34 truck on the bottom, the 11 up high in 3 and 4. This time, the 34 right against the fence in turn 1 and 2 as the 11 takes a lower entry.
As they come up off turn number 2, lap truck in front of them and Tony Breidinger on the backstretch.
Racing for the lead, headed to turn number 3. Lane Riggs and his Ford F-150 looks back at Corey Heim, about 3 truck lengths behind him.
Off the corner, the leaders come back to the start-finish line. 21 laps to go, and right now it is Lane Riggs and Corey Heim. They've separated themselves in a tight battle for the lead in lap traffic.
And it is down to a truck length, maybe less now. Corey Heim, poised on the doorstep, puts the nose to the inside of Lane Riggs, tries to make the move off turn 2.
Corey Heim had the inside lane wide open as Lane Riggs ran the outside through turns 1 and 2. He does the same in 3 and allows Heim to go to the bottom.
Heim can't get the grip at the bottom of the racetrack to try to pull even. Outside lane has the momentum. That's where Lane Riggs is. He'll continue to pull the field down the front straightaway. 20 laps to go in Darlington.
Corey Heim appears to have a small advantage. Oh, up into the wall goes Riggs. Riggs slaps the wall. Corey Heim is through to take the lead. Lane Riggs with a tire down loses the lead.
Lane Riggs driving wounded right now, coming off of turn number 2. Grant Enfinger goes by for second. Riggs slow down the backstretch.
And trouble on the main straightaway. Caden Honeycutt gets turned around on the main straightaway. Caution flag is flying for the 3rd time of the afternoon. It was a 1-2 punch that started in front of Dave Mooney in turn 1.
Leader of the race, Lane Riggs, trying to fend off the advances of Corey Heim. Came into turn number 1, turned the wheel, nothing happened. Tire down on the machine, slid up, made heavy contact with the outside retaining wall as Heim snuck through on the inside to take the top spot.
All the while, for the 2nd time today, Caden Honeycutt has a problem. His playoff start has gone to the south end yet again after cutting down a tire early on in an unscheduled pit stop, and that'll put us under the caution flag now with 19 laps to go. And Ross Chastain, if you're a fan of racing, you might be smiling right now that we're going to have ourselves a furious restart on our hands.
That's right, but playoff implications. The 34 truck saved by the caution by Caden Honeycutt, who also has a flat right front tire right now. We're not sure if that happened before. It looks like Andres Perez and Caden Honeycutt come together off turn 4. Caden Honeycutt not clear, driving the 44 truck into the wall. Guys, and the 52 truck does get the worst end of it with a flat right front tire as he's spinning. Hard to tell if it went down right before the contact or not.
Of course, the 52 we are speaking of is Caden Honeycutt, one of the playoff drivers getting turned around. As Alex mentioned, his first problem happened back at lap 21, a flat right front, and then he and Andres Perez get together coming off the corner. That, coupled with the Lane Riggs problem in turn number 1, has put us under the caution for the 3rd time of the day. Let's get an update on the Riggs truck with Postman.
Lane Riggs said he just got into turn number 1 and didn't realize when he went up high what the lack of grip was and got into the fence and cut a tire down. They're trying to limp around. They don't want to face the penalty of pitting early here, so they're asking Lane to kind of take it easy. Don't put the truck in any further peril as far as that goes, because they would rather pit with everyone else and see where they fare with the race off from pit road. So Lane Riggs got up into the fence and ultimately cut down a right front tire.
So Lane Riggs and Caden Honeycutt both with right front tires flapping as they've been cut down after 2 different problems on the same lap, and we're under the caution flag now for the 3rd time. Pit road will be opened up this time by, so we're about a half a lap away from things getting very busy.
I would imagine that by the time we go back under the green flag, we'll have, maybe 13, 14 laps to go, depending on how this goes. That's going to set up quite the shootout for these NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series teams. After they get done here today, the tough trucks of NASCAR will take a weekend off, and their second playoff race will be at Bristol Motor Speedway. That'll be on Thursday, September the 11th, and then the final race in their round of 10 will be at New Hampshire Motor Speedway on Saturday, September the 20th. Then it'll be off to the Roval, then Talladega, then Martinsville for the round of 8. The championship will be decided on Friday, October 31st. All of those races can be heard right here on the NASCAR Racing Network. Pit stops underway, lap 129. They begin in front of Wendy.
Trevor Bayne has worked his way up to the 7th position. He's better on entry, but he's been numb in the center of those turns, needing better. Turn 4 tires, Sunoco fuel for him. Also the 99 of Ben Rhodes. He finished 3rd here last year, working his way up to 8th. Long stop on the left side, 4 tires, Sunoco fuel. Steve Post.
Down here, Corey Heim, the first pit box. Crew all the way around to the left side. 4 tires, Sunoco racing fuel. Working on the right front of the Lane Riggs truck. As they do that, Daniel Hemrick's down and away. The race off from pit road, Corey Heim by a long shot. Grant Enfinger, Daniel Hemrick, Gio Ruggiero, the front 4 off from pit road, Chris Wilder.
High five, Steve Post, for the Grant Enfinger crew after they picked up a spot there. He mentioned he was a little bit free. They took a half pound out of the left rear tire. 4 tires and fuel. 4 tires and fuel for Gio Ruggiero was free in 3 and 4. And for Tyler Ankrum, tear off requested and 4 tires and fuel as the repairs now continue for Caden Honeycutt. And the latest problem for that Hallmark Friesen team, major damage on the right front. The splitter pancaked as well. They've got the Sawzall out. It's going to be a lengthy repair for a pretty dismal day for the Hallmark Friesen crew here in the opener for the playoffs.
All the while, 16 laps to go.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
NASCAR fans, get ready to feel the rush. The official NASCAR Tracks app is your ultimate race day companion. From managing your event tickets to navigating with wayfinding maps, event schedules, and facility info, it's got everything you need to make your experience unforgettable.
Ready, green flag, green
Bring
flag.
your headphones and dive into the action like never before with live scanner access.
Got a race to win, my man.
Listen in on driver and team communications at select NASCAR Tracks. Download NASCAR Tracks now on the Apple App Store or Google Play.
From Darlington Raceway, this is the NASCAR Racing Network, home of the tough trucks of NASCAR.
Looking for weekly motorsports podcasts to stay up to date on what's happening on and off the track? The Motor Racing Network is the place. Hear from NASCAR crew chiefs on MRN Crew Call. All the happenings from regional touring series and local tracks on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Sprint Car Talk on Winged Nation. NASCAR history on MRN Classic Races. And hear from the drivers on NASCAR Live. MRN podcasts available on MRN.com, YouTube, or your favorite podcast platform.
Steven Wilson punched his ticket at Michigan to fight for the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series title. NASCAR's officially sanctioned esports series featuring the top sim racers from around the world. The playoff field has 2 races left to decide the top 4 that will make it into the championship 4. Tune in on Tuesday, September 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern for round 2 of the playoffs from Texas, live on eNASCAR.com. Brought to you by Coca-Cola iRacing and NASCAR.
$15 laps to go here in the Sober Slammer 200 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Their playoff openers, we've gotten the 1 to go. Drivers choosing what lane to restart in. Race leader Corey Heim chooses the outside. And Ross, is that a gimme if you're the race leader at Darlington? Is the outside lane the go-to?
Yeah, especially with Grant Enfinger lining up to your inside in the number 9 truck. The front 2 rows the first 3 trucks took outside, inside, then outside. Gio Ruggiero actually gave up a row to restart 6th versus 3rd, where Tyler Ankrum, and then Gio will have Trevor Bayne inside of him in 5th place.
So to recap it for you, the front row, Corey Heim will restart on the outside. Grant Enfinger to his left elbow. Behind them, you got Tyler Ankrum on the inside of Daniel Hemrick. Then you got Trevor Bayne to the inside of Gio Ruggiero. Then you got Corey LaJoie to the inside of Ty Majeski as we get set to go here in what will be a 14-lap sprint to the checkered flag of the Sober or Slammer 200. Pace car is on pit road. Here come the leaders into the restart zone. Corey Heim waits till late in the box to go. He does. He's getting assistance from Daniel Hemrick while Tyler Ankram's trying to push Grant Enfinger forward.
Restarts have not been kind to Grant Enfinger this afternoon. Again, this time he will not get away with the lead. Tries to slide up the road in front of the Daniel Hemrick machine. Can't get it done. Here comes Hemrick for second.
Hemrick and Enfinger remain wheel to wheel for the second spot as Corey Heim, the race leader, starts to get away. It's still Enfinger and Hemrick fighting for second and three.
Oh, Enfinger drifts up the racetrack, has to roll out of the throttle not to collect Daniel Hemrick. NASCAR taking a closer look at the restart. It's under review as the field rumbles to one.
Into turn number one they come. Corey Heim quickly away by 6 truck lengths over Daniel Hemrick, who rides in second. Enfinger drop kick to third. Gio Ruggiero in fourth.
Gio Ruggiero having a very strong day this afternoon in Darlington. Holds down the fourth spot. 1 spot behind Ruggiero is Ty Majeski. Tanner Gray is 6. Trevor Bain to the inside of Tyler Ankram for 7.
Corey LaJoie has been spotted with a restart violation. He'll have to do a pass-through penalty on the pit lane. The black flag is flying for him at the start-finish line while the leaders head to 2.
Into turn number one, new man in the top 5, Ty Majeski, who's had a big-time comeback this afternoon. He's in the top 5, but he's got some work to do.
He does indeed. He's got about 5, maybe 6 truck lengths to make up on the next one for position. That would be the Gio Ruggiero Toyota Tundra in fourth.
Ty Majeski, if you're just joining us, cut down a right front tire under green, had to make an unscheduled stop back on lap number 40. And Dave, you're right. They have done a nice job of getting back in the ball game.
While also not abusing the tires, he's still got a good race truck underneath him and is beginning slowly to close the gap on Ruggiero.
So it's Corey Heim, the race leader, by about 4 truck lengths over Daniel Hemrick. Hemrick is too far back to challenge right now, but is keeping Corey Heim at arm's length for the moment.
Right now, Corey Heim, Daniel Hemrick 1 and 2. As they look to the starter stand, Rich Keeter puts out 2 palms. 10 laps to go in this one this afternoon in Darlington.
Corey Heim dives low on entry into turn 1. Now snuggles up to the outside safer barrier. Daniel Hemrick in second, running an even higher line.
Corey Heim and his red and white Toyota Tundra, again the race leader, halfway down the back straightaway, rolls out of the throttle into turn number 3, takes his pickup right to the outside wall.
Here they come up off turn number 4. At the front of the field, Corey Heim. Daniel Hemrick is second. Grant Enfinger third. Gio Ruggiero is fourth. Now, Corey LaJoie has yet to answer the black flag that NASCAR has given him he's doing it right now, as a matter of fact. He's making his way down the pit lane. He had not answered the black flag for the restart violation until now, and he's going to give up a ton of track position. There'll be 8 laps to go in this one. Corey Heim, large and in charge, Mike, as he makes his way up off turn 4.
Here he comes, Corey Heim now racing his way back to the start-finish line. If he's able to win this race, it's going to be his 8th race of 2025, and what a way to start his 2025 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series playoffs. But Dave, we're not going to take the hats to victory lane just yet.
Not quite yet, but at a time where anybody that wants to take this race away should be making their move. No moves toward the front are being made. It's all Corey Heim.
Yeah, if you're going to go right now, if you're Daniel Hemrick, Grant Enfinger, or any of these other drivers in the top 10, you've got to step it up because Corey Heim is driving away.
Corey Heim trying to get his 19th career win. That would put him by himself 7th on the all-time wins list. But he's got to get there first. He's in turn 1.
Closest truck in his rearview mirror is the Corey Heim machine, who just made that under green flag pit road penalty call. So it's all Heim. Plenty of room on the backstretch.
1 truck between the race leader right now and the second place truck. Heim the leader. Hemrick is second. That truck between them is Corey LaJoie.
When they come to the start-finish line, it'll be 6 laps to go. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the NASCAR Racing Network. 6 laps to go in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series playoff opener at Darlington Raceway. We're so glad you're spending your Saturday afternoon with us here on the NASCAR Racing Network. Mike Bagley, Alex Hayden, and Ross Chastain with you. Dave Moody and Tim Catalfamo are in the corners. We've got Steve Post, Chris Wilner, and Wendy Venturini in the pits and the garage areas. If you're just joining us, 5 laps to go here in Darlington. This is quite the show for Corey Heim. He is leading now his 61st lap of the afternoon in what has been a dominating performance between Corey Heim and Lane Riggs. Lane slapped the wall back at lap 127, removing him from contention, Alex, therefore passing the baton on to the Corey Heim truck.
With Daniel Hemrick a second behind him in position number 2. Grant Enfinger 1.8 seconds in arrears. He rides third. Ty Majeski just getting by Gio Ruggiero, so Majeski now is up to position number 4. Down to 4 laps to go. The field goes to turn 1.
It's been a very steady afternoon for Daniel Hemrick. He'll take a second-place finish. He's not, though, been able to make any kind of a run at Corey Heim.
Hemrick pedaling that Chevrolet Silverado for all it's worth right now, but is not making up any ground on the race leader.
Here they come up off turn number 4. Corey Heim runs at the bottom of the racetrack up off of turn number 4. Lets the truck drift wide. 3 to go now in the Sober or Slammer 200. Corey Heim back to turn 1.
Just hoping for no more caution flags, no more tire problems. Just trying to hit his marks, hit his line, and make his way to the back straightaway one more time.
And while all this is happening, Gio Ruggiero, who was running inside of the top 5, hit the wall pretty good in turns 3 and 4. He is on the apron as he works his way back to the back straightaway. Corey Heim, though, still leads.
Trevor Bayne has gone to the position number 5. He got 2 on that last lap. He got around Gio Ruggiero and Tanner Gray. Here come Corey Heim and company across the line. 2 laps to go in Darlington.
Hemrick has not given up the ship yet. He continues to give it all he's got, running at about a groove higher on the racetrack than the leader, Corey Heim, but he's running out of real estate.
And the lead remains about 9 or 10 truck lengths for Corey Heim. Daniel Hemrick is changing up his line, doing everything he can to close in, but it's not enough.
Not quite yet. Corey Heim off turn number 4. Rich Keeter puts the white flag in the air from the flag stand. 1 lap to go at Darlington for Corey Heim.
Down the front straightaway and into turn number 1 on an afternoon here in the PD region of South Carolina, where Corey Heim has done Corey Heim kind of things. Off turn 2 for the final time. The lead is 10 truck lengths.
Clean racetrack ahead for the race leader, Corey Heim, comfortably working his way down the Boeing backstretch, setting up for turn 3.
He'll dial up the low lane through turn number 3 and turn number 4. Race fans rise to their feet on the main straightaway. Checkered flag is waving, and for the 8th time in 2025, it's Heim time. Corey Heim is a winner in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. He'll take the checkered flag today in the Sober or Slammer 200 at Darlington. Across the line in second, it's Daniel Hemrick with Grant Enfinger in third. Ty Majeski fourth, and Trevor Bayne round out the top 5. Let's go to pit road.
Scott Zipadelli, crew chief down here, giving kudos to his entire team on a good run here as he is celebrating the win. Scott, you've conquered Darlington. How about that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. This place is tough. We've been really close with Corey in the past, and for several reasons it didn't work out, but today it went our way. Really proud of him and all the guys on this team. They've just worked so hard, and it just feels really good to get this round out of our check this round off, checking boxes, and now we're just focused on Phoenix.
Focused on Phoenix. The next round is in the windshield. That is Scott Zipadelli, crew chief for Corey Heim.
Coming into today's race, Corey Heim's average finish at Darlington was 20.5, his worst average finish of any track on the circuit. That's going to get exponentially better. Corey Heim has won the Sober or Slammer 200.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in the Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
We are the voice of NASCAR.
The green flag is in the air, and we are underway. The Great American Race.
The Motor Racing Network. NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and Craftsman Truck Series Racing live on your hometown radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com. Martinsville, Talladega, the Chicago Street Course. We have the side-by-side action and last lap passes for the win.
Photo finishes. Ryan Blaney will win.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network. NASCAR Live Race Day continues on the NASCAR Racing Network.
Back at Darlington Raceway, Corey Heim, helmet Hans still on, walks up to Chief Starter Rich Keeter, trying to hand the checkered flag through the fence. Corey Heim picks out a young race fan about 6 rows back, and Rich Keeter hand delivers the checkered flag to that young man. He's going to have a souvenir for the rest of his life. Corey Heim, we'll hear from him in a moment as he continues to celebrate with the fans here on the front stretch.
Meanwhile, we hear from the top 5 finishers. We check in first with Steve Post.
Ty Majeski down here climbing out of the truck. Ty, lap number 41 of the race. You end up with a flat tire. Just describe what you all had to do to recover and come away with a top 5 finish.
Yeah, of course it happened with about 5 to go left in the stage. So, we obviously came down pit road, did a green flag pit stop, put those tires on, and took the wave around and then stayed out on those old tires in stage 2. 5-lap deficit's a big deal here. So just trying to get what I could get track position-wise. We had to come back down at the end of stage 2 and fix some damage, so we lost some more spots and basically restarted, I think, 17th there in that last stage and got up to 10th. And then caution came out, made up a few spots on the restart. And we had a good truck all day, just nothing to show for it, no track position. So proud of the effort today. It could have been disastrous for sure, and glad we recovered as a team. Pit stops were great. Good execution today.
Good recovery. Top 5 finish for Ty Majeski. Wendy Venturini.
Trevor Bayne comes home 5th here at Darlington. Just a few days ago, Trevor, you didn't even know you were going to be in this truck. Recap your day and the emotions you're feeling racing your way into the top 5 here at Darlington.
Well, congratulations to Corey and the 11. That group is battling for a playoff or a championship, and so for him to get the win is awesome. For me, I don't even know where to start. Our weekend was rocky to start off with. The thing was a handful on Friday. In qualifying, I underdrove it. Today we started 16th, and we just got the truck better every stop. Pit crew executed well, and I only hit the wall like 4 times, so that's pretty good for me. I never had to pit for a flat tire. That's also good for me. I normally get too much. But just thank you so much to Tricon, Garage, Legacy Motor Club, Advent Health, Victory Junction, for allowing me to do this. You never know when you're going to get to run your last race. This could be my last. So to make the most of it, it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot for our drivers that we work with.
I was just going to ask you, will we expect to see you again, Trevor?
I don't know. I hope so. I'll have to talk to David Gillen, Matt Fuchsia, and maybe Jimmy Johnson a little bit more. I really love driving race cars. Honestly, this weekend was probably the most nervous I've been getting in a race car, though. Mostly because I didn't want my drivers talking smack to me on Monday, and wanted to make the most of it. And I feel like we did that.
All right, Trevor Bayne comes home 5th. Steve Post.
Grant Enfinger down here leaning up against the truck, a 3rd-place finish, a good solid run. But Grant, is it a good 3rd place, or would you hope for just a little bit more there?
I mean, as a racer, you always hope for more, but honestly, it's a very good 3rd place for where we've been. Feel like we unloaded. Jeff Stankiewicz had us a really good Champion Power Equipment Chevy yesterday during practice. Feel like we carried that into qualifying and carried it into all 3 stages. Pickard did a phenomenal job. I feel like we came in 3rd and left in 2nd every time. Corey kept on choosing the top, which I don't blame him. One launch, I felt like I beat him through the gears, but he just had position on us. So, I don't think I'd do it different again as far as choosing the front row, but maybe if I could execute it a little bit better, maybe we'd have had a shot at it. I feel like we were all equal for about 20 laps, and then Corey maybe had everybody by a 10th or so, but